Hello, my name is Saltbot. I am Kismet's co-host for this evening. Welcome to Kismet's stream and thank you for dropping by once again. Tonight it's time to get back to PC gaming with the Kismet Overburdened with Love PC. Thanks to all of you, we can take this stream to another level. Let me open up the vault door and let's go inside. Kismet is waiting for us.
Hello everybody, this is Kismet. I hear some noise going on from War of the Walkers there. Hello everybody, it's me. It's time for some 7 Days to Die. Thanks for hanging out. My name is Kismet. This is my stream. We're going to play some games. As you can see, I'm in my overseer's office. Having some fun. Can't wait to hang out with you all tonight. Play some War of the Walkers 7 Days to Die. We've been working on our mega compound. It feels like it's been a while since I've been working on it. But we're going to keep working on the shoreline. We're going to go ahead and work on that water level, try to bring that water level up. We're doing some pretty hard stuff, trying to control that water, trying to fill that water in. Very, very difficult to make that work. But it is possible. It just takes time and effort like most things in life. Been hanging out with the family for my kind of day off, where my kind of day off starts at like 12 noon on Friday and then goes to about 12 noon on Saturday. But I cracked my toe, my little toe on my right foot into some stuff that my wife has in the hallway there, and I just like slammed right into it. But luckily, it cracked this way as opposed to straight up and down to the bottom of your toe. But yeah, I cracked it pretty bad. Now my nail is like destroyed halfway down in my toe. I don't know if you guys have ever done that, but man, does it hurt. It hurts bad, and then it's irritating, of course. But the wife helped me out with that because that toe is too far down there for me to get it. So she put a Band-Aid on it, and I'm good now. I'm good now. So I'll just wait till it grows out a bit, and then it will solve itself over time. But yeah, I gotta triage that baby. So now I'm ready to go. That made my eyes water. That hurt so bad. That hurts very, very bad. But I'm ready to play some games. I don't know about you guys, but let's say hello to my awesome mods hanging out in the chat right now. Of course, we got Chewy, we got Jazz Sands hanging out. Make sure to show them lots of love. Also, we got Game Killer, you can see in there as well. Show them lots of love in there as well. Let's see what else we got in there. We got Amethyst hanging out. What's up, Amethyst? You look tired, Kismet. You should never tell people that. Especially the ladies, Raz, but thank you for noticing, I guess. I don't know. You shouldn't tell people that, really. But thank you. I probably look tired because I always have this kind of puffiness under my eyes because I work constantly on my stream. But such is the way it goes, right? Such is the way it goes when you work hard at what you love to do. Hey, kids, how's the young one doing with her ouch? Her sprained ankle's doing better. She's been resting it up. Still hurts. She still kind of limps around on it, but she's doing better. She's been just trying to take it easy. They're out of school for now, so it's not like they have to go back and forth and walk around in school, at least. Though she does have a lot of stuff coming up, so if she don't get that straightened out, she's going to be in trouble. It's kind of a bad thing to do right at the beginning of summer, is to hurt yourself. Same thing with me. I just hurt my toe. Now for the whole thing of summer, if I go swimming or whatever, I'm going to have a problem with that foot. So you really don't want to hurt yourself at the beginning of summer. For sure. Also see Eldon Whistler in there saying, ouch, and hey, everyone. Hello, hello. IBH Design saying, howdy. Shush, the robots are speaking. Exactly. Saltbot likes to come in and say hello from time to time. Kursauser says, I don't want to be finishing watching Deadpool. Oh, there you go. There you go. That's a movie I have not seen yet. I just finally watched Black Panther. Incredibly great movie. I got to see Infinity War as well last week. The wife finally gave in and wanted to go. She's not into those shows anymore. She don't want to watch it because it's like all this mayhem going on all the time. She's not into the mayhem. She's more into the, you're my special number one. The chick flick. She's into those instead. But such is the way it goes, right? Speaking of that, it was like a chick flick. This morning, my wife got up and my family got up, and they wanted to watch the royal wedding. So it wasn't my thing, but I thought, yeah, it's an opportunity to hang out with the family and chill out. So we got up and we watched all the pageantry of that and all of that. Not my thing, but hey, they liked it. More power to them, right? If it's their thing, go for it. Go for it. Just cut off the foot. You have two. There you go. That's right. Just like if you find a spider in your house, just burn it down. I see that on Twitch fails all the time. Like a spider will come out of nowhere on someone's stream and they'll be like, ah! And then they'll say, burn down the house. It's funny stuff. Funny stuff. But let's get to it, everybody. I say we get to it. We dive in. Let's play some 7 Days to Die. Let's do it. Oh, all right. There we go. Ooh, that took a long time. Here we are in 7 Days to Die. Oh. Hearing somebody get shot. Somebody just got shot by a turret. So yeah, we're here in the Kismet Army Mega Compound. It is absolutely massive, as you can see. We're doing a good job. Look at that. We had filled in all of that already. All we got to do is just kind of edge that. Then we're going to go ahead and finish this out, and that's it. That's a compound. I don't know why we went out a little bit there, but I guess to make that house, I guess. Guess that's why we went out. That's okay. We'll just leave that as a little exterior outer bunker, I guess. And then we'll go up and across and all across here. We'll try to fill that in. Then we're going to come in and we're going to try to raise the water level of all of this. I might just square that off right there since we already squared it here. We're going to try to do some more difficult stuff, which is to try to go along that edge. Very, very difficult to do it right where the mobs will not just run into a flat surface. They block. Then we're also going to build a submarine in there before we fill in the water. Somewhere in the middle there. That'll be kind of fun. We'll try to figure out how to do that. And as you can see, we got some large buildings here going on. We've got the garden. Here's some really tall towers. We've got various other things like a steel mill. We've got the food and water location there, restaurant. We've got a gas station. We've got a library, all sorts of stuff going on here. And all these various buildings built by various different people. It's not all done just by me, though I have been a major contributor to it. We're on day 563, so we're 3 days after Horde Night, so we got some time. We got some time to get in and do some building. Now, we're up here, as you can see, on the scaffolding. As you can see, good place to be because the zombies usually spawn down below. Got a library in there. Pretty awesome. I love it when people get inspired like that. Like, hey, I'm going to go make a library. I'm like, oh, cool. I love to see that. I love to see that. Oh, I got to jump in with my, hold on, my 7 Days to Die community channel. Boop, there we go. Looking good. Now, don't forget to go out and retweet everybody. That's how you can help out the stream a big time. Also, big thanks to all the peeps hitting that nuke in the channel. Let's see him again here. Replay all of those. There we go. We got Game Killer coming in with the first host. Then we got Raz coming in with another host as well. Try to see where I left off last time. Also, Curse Saucer coming in with a host. Love. And last but not least, Amethyst Laney also coming in, blowing it up with all the little pink sparkles. Hope you guys like my cool new alerts. They took a lot of effort and time to make that work and just figure out how to make it work. Sometimes it takes a lot longer just to figure out how stuff works versus actually doing them, I find. It takes a lot of time to make that happen. How are we looking on food and water? Well, let's go ahead and have a little bit of something, something there. A little bit of something, something over here. Probably going to get ganked while I'm doing this. Buy some mobs. All right, and what else do we need in here? We need cement. We need rebar frames. We got those. And I think that's about it. I think we're good to drive out there and get into some trouble. Let's do it. Let's do it. Now, you got a little moped. They do have new vehicles coming out, but who knows when they're going to show up. Probably a very, very long time from now because they don't really announce when stuff's going to be available or anything like that. Now, as you can see, this place is absolutely massive. While it looks big on the map, it is even bigger when you're driving around. As you can see, we've got a whole bunch of frames as well to fill in here. We've also built a massive amount of frames, massive amount of concrete. The crew has come in and done that. Now, we do have a server for the Kismet Army. And you can see I've kind of blocked this area off. I'm going to kind of do it in kind of sections as I fill in the water. But the first thing we're doing here is, of course, angling out this side here. And then making it meet the bottom area here. Now, if we go down into the water here, we can see that some places have been filled in. And then some still need the whole bottom part here filled in. With concrete. I know, that's a lot of work, right? That's a lot of work, but it's going to be epic when it's done. It's going to be epic, and we're in no hurry because, you know, basically Alpha 17, we don't know when it's coming out. Now, over here, you can see Ro has been doing a fun bit of angling of stuff here to try to shape out this edge. So when the mobs come through, they can just walk up that edge. I love that kind of unique styling. Instead of just making it straight, which is the easy kind of shortcut way of doing it, we're trying to shape it along the edge there, using some various techniques to do so. But I think we're going to go ahead and start today by getting in here. Let's fill in the ones we know we want to keep. Now, the reason why you want to do that is sometimes stuff loves to sneak up on you, right? Like you might have a cop come out of nowhere, come running over here, blow up, and then bye-bye frames. Now you got to put all those frames down again, which really, really sucks. Infinity War was great, but the second Star Wars was a letdown. Yeah, I was really bummed, IDH. I finally, because I didn't get to see Star Wars in the theater, because one, don't have enough cash, and two, whenever I take the family, it's like $150. I mean, it's like insane to go to the movies anymore. Because you got the price of tickets, right? And then you got the popcorn, and you got all the other stuff you got to get. Before you get out of there, it's easily $150. It's insane. I remember going to the movie theater, it was like $3. Like $3 for a regular show. But such is the way it's been for quite a long time. They make more money on concessions than they actually do on the ticket price, which is not good. Let's see, the actual Royal Wedding Kids or the event on Disney. I didn't even know there was one on Disney. No, we watched the real event. The real event. I don't know what was on Disney. Was there a royal wedding on Disney? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I watched the real one with the real prince guy and the real prince girl. That's how. See, I don't even know their names. It's not very exciting to me to watch rich people get married. I don't know. But, you know, people like the pomp and circumstance of all of that. You got to think they still put their pants on just like everybody else, one leg at a time. They put the shoes on one at a time. They're just like everybody else. They just happen to be incredibly wealthy, born into money. Doesn't get me all excited for watching them get married. They'll just spend the rest of their life being very, very wealthy and doing what wealthy people do, which I don't know what they do. They run around and do whatever they do. More power to them. Not my job to tell them what they should be doing. My job is to do what I love to do every day. Can't be worried about other people and their marriages and whatnot, or at least other rich people anyway. Being rich doesn't automatically give you instant happiness, as is the story of the royal family, right? Lots of ups and downs, even if you are wealthy. Lots of ups and downs, lots of foolish choices and bad mistakes in your life. That family is a prime example of that. Prime example, but it's the same way with everybody. Did I take Sparkle upside down? No, it's not. Just Sparkle's not in this overlay. The upside down puppy is not in this overlay at all. Now, some other good news while I'm filling this in is I did re-add my GameWist alerts. So if you are a GameWist subscriber, you want to test it out for me, feel free to go ahead. Let me know if it does pop up and work. I would like to... been trying to get that to work for quite a long time. My mod Josie helped me out getting that working again. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. He's acting like he's cold or something. I ran out of stamina. Weapon loaded? Yep. When you gotta go slow, the best thing to do is just take a moment to reload your weapon. Good idea. All right, we need some more concrete. See, I play different games. Sometimes when I'm playing different games, like right there, I tried to right-click, but it didn't work. So I remember to shift left-click. It happens. It happens. You might be like, Kismet, you're missing a whole bunch of it. Well, I find it's faster just to hold down shift and get as much as you can. And then come back and get all of this in a bit like this. Bam, bam, bam. I have a tendency to go a lot faster. Oh, here comes some bitty bits trying to knock me off the bit boss. Who is it? Curse Saucer coming in with the 2 bits. Also, thanks for the host earlier. Thank you so much. If you do dethrone me as the bit boss, you will have control over the chat. You will be the chat overlord. As well as you will get caps at the end of the night if you still are the bit boss. Which you can use, of course, for contests and giveaways later on. Lots of cool stuff coming up. Kismet's playing the waiting game right now. I'm waiting for stuff to get done and get to me so I can get it to you all. Such is the way it goes, right? Such is the way it goes. Always waiting on other people. See, when you do it yourself, when I have plenty of time to work on projects, you know, I can go ahead and do it myself, then it gets done right now. But when I'm waiting on other people, they're, of course, doing other projects, so I have to wait on them to finish those projects before I can get my projects done. And I have various artists working right now on various different things. And I can't wait to show you all that stuff and other stuff that I have coming up when I can announce all that stuff. But right now, I've got some stuff I can't announce yet, but I will be happy to the second it's ready to go. Oh, there we go. Somebody dropping the Dragon Hammer. Thank you so much for dropping the Dragon Hammer, crushing that follow button, becoming part of the Kismet Army. Welcome. Welcome, welcome to Vortex Slayer. Thank you so much. Like that name as well. Thanks for coming in, saying, oh, I like this Kismet guy. You know what? I think I'm going to drop him a follow. See what he's all about up in here, doing some mega building. Also coming in, Lord Winter with a host. Thank you so much, Lord Winter, longtime supporter of the stream. Awesome guy as well. You can see we're just kind of filling in the bank here of the shore here on our mega base. Now, if you're just coming in the stream, we are building a gigantic mega base. Now, I, of course, not building this just by myself. We can have up to 32 players up on our awesome Nitrado servers that we're utilizing. And you can see we've gone through and we've leveled it out as a team, and then we filled it in with what we call the cement biome. Anon coming in with a host as well. Right now we're filling in this edge along this bank here. We call this the aqueduct. We're gonna go in and
read Discord real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, purge that, Chewy. Purge that.
I can't purge it. Only you can because he's a mod.
There we go. Yeah. Hold on 1 second, everybody. There we go. All right. Let's keep on going, everybody. Get that going on. Had to fix something. We got it taken care of. Let's keep filling it in here. I forgot what I was saying because I lost my train of thought now. I'm often distracted in stream by other stuff. I think I was talking about projects. So again, if you are a above and beyond subscriber here on the stream, if you are a GameWest subscriber, you can now proudly display it here on stream. And I've got a new alert just coming for you guys. That is above and beyond my normal alerts as well. I was working on that yesterday. A lot of fun. Man, I was worn out today, though, man. I got up early to be with the family, which I'm rarely up that early unless I'm up, if you know what I mean. If I'm still up. But I went to sleep, rested for a little bit, because I knew I wasn't going to have time, and then hang out with the family, watch that royal wedding for a while. Ran out, got him some breakfast while we were waiting. We got up really early. I don't know what it is, but it makes my nose itch when I'm playing this in the stream. We got up really early. It's Kurzhauser coming in with some more bits. And another pair. There you go. And another one. And another one. So I went and got him some breakfast while we were waiting, because we got up like 2 hours before it started. And I'm like, oh man, you guys should have let me sleep. Because that's 2 hours of, we're watching somebody, I don't know who it was, like NBC or ABC or somebody like that. And this lady was like the most annoying commentator. Oh man, sometimes, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of commentary unless the commentator is really, really good. I don't like it for sports. I don't like it for esports. I don't like it for anything, because usually the commentators are just like, I don't know, they're just like not connecting with me as the audience, I feel, most of the time. Now, there are some really good sports announcers and some really good esports announcers that I can handle. But most of them, I'm like, they may actually make me not want to watch that or turn the sound off. If there was a just watch the game with no commentating, I would do that. I would have that channel on. That would be nice. But sometimes you just gotta suffer your way through it while you're watching the game. But hey, I don't want to take away from people who do commentating. I mean, again, there's a lot of good people who do it. But anybody else like that? Let me know in the chat. Anybody else in the chat have a problem with commentators? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Sometimes, you know, when you think of stuff like that, you're just like, well, maybe it's just me. Maybe everybody loves it when people are commentating and talking over stuff, and you can't even hear what the people you're there to listen to are saying, because the commentators are talking over that moment, or they're talking over various events that are going on, or maybe the music that's playing, stuff like that. Man, I felt it was fairly obnoxious, but yeah, my wife and kids seem to dig it, so that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, supporting the wife and family. My wife and family, not their wife and family. They got their own wife and family to support. Getting some hugs in there. Hugs in the chat going on. Claptrap hanging out in the chat as well. Commentators must be purged. Exactly. Exactly. Well, you know, some people like that. Some people like commentating. Obviously, otherwise wouldn't be so successful. But I don't know. Sometimes the people are just like making up random stuff. I don't know, but that's kind of what I do, though. I kind of commentate on gameplay, but at least I try to make it interesting for the audience, right? At least I try to talk about stuff that's relevant to what I'm talking about, not just some random stuff. Or relevant on what's going on with me, because my stream, I can do that. But I try to limit it to topics that have to do with what I'm doing or what's going on with me, as opposed to just random topics like, you know, butterflies with yellow wings, right? You're like, why is Kismet talking about butterflies with yellow wings? For no reason, because I'm a sports commentator. Hello, and thank you to ESPN. Today, we're going to have this person talk over the entire game, so you can't even hear anything, because they will non-stop talk over the whole entire thing. There you go. What's happening? Building New York from scratch? A little bit. A little bit. This is just a tiny part of it. This is just a teensy-weensy part of it here. This is just a shore bake. Look at this. This sucker goes on for a while. Hey, look at this. Somebody just sniped. All right, first shot. Got to be a one-shot, one kill. Whoa! You ain't got no head, lady. You got no hit. Now, they do run at nighttime, the zombies here on our server. We do have it turned up as well. We turned it up to hard and then much harder, like survival mode hard right now. And eventually I will turn it up really, really hard when the new alpha comes through. Eventually, I don't know. I don't have any inside information on when it's going to show up or anything like that. But I do love to play this game. This game is really, really fun. I love to do the building. The Horde Night is a lot of fun as well. They got some really cool upgrades on the way, and I just like to try not to burn myself out on it. It's very easy to burn yourself out on a game like this, or if you play it excessively too much, you can't get burned out. Though, I probably wouldn't, because I love to build, and this is a building game, and it's also, you can do questing in it as well as you can fight off zombies and all of that kind of fun stuff, as well as you can play with other people, which I find to be very, very fun as well. But right now we need some more concrete, so we got to get back in here. Now this is our kind of crafting area. As you can see, we've got lots of stuff up here in the boxes and whatnot. We use these kind of whatever you call these things now. I can't remember what they're called. These kind of drawers, that's what they're called, drawers. We put the drawers up there and then we just paint them like wood, but they're actually metal drawers, which makes it easier because they're not so big. And that actually is empty space, even though they take up that full block. Like you can see, I can jump up toward them without hitting my head, because it's not taking up that actual space, which I think is a cool design idea here. It takes up the block, but you as a player, still that's an empty space for you as a player, which is pretty cool. All right, let's see what we got going on in here. Oh, look at that. We got it still running. All right, well, let's get that out of there. Let's go ahead and get this going. Now, I started a bunch of this earlier, and it looks like somebody else started it. Let's go ahead and get that crafted right there. Let's go up here, shift, left click, craft that 6,000 there. Let's get over here. Let's get this going. And then we're going to shift click again, craft that. This stuff definitely look like it's been running for a while. And see, whenever you take stuff out, you should be crafting stuff in return. So when other people come in, they're just not like, hey, someone used up all the concrete, right? Somebody definitely started some concrete there, as you can see. Apparently not in that one. All right. This one was not running. We also got some concrete up here. Someone obviously made some up here as well. So let's go ahead and get that crushed sand. Now, the way I control how much I'm doing is based on the crushed sand. Right now, I can make about 10, 20, 35,000, roughly. We'll kind of do it in 10,000 blocks. So we can also use the stone and sand to do the same thing. You can go ahead and just bring in the stone and sand. Go in here, click this. It says 21,676. So we'll go ahead and put some of this concrete back, or some of the stone back, and see if we can just do 10,000 stone. And then when we click, there it goes. Now it just has 10,000. Great way to limit how much you're making. So I'm shift left clicking over here where it says concrete mix. Right here, shift left clicking, which is what gives me the 10,000 over here. Then I can say mix, and you'll see it starts at 10,000. It's going to take 249 minutes, which is going to be a while. But that's okay. We'll let that go, and then we'll go ahead and grab another 10,000 concrete out, and then we'll go ahead and start another 5,000 for some reason. Why can we only do 5,000? What do we need? Oh, we've got plenty of crushed sand. Cement, we have 25,000. Oh, we need double the stone. We need double the stone, I forgot. All right. Now we can do it. There we go. All right. Make sure to double up on the stone because it's 2 to 1 on the stone. We'll come back over here. Get some more stone. We got plenty of stone. Thanks to the hard work of a lot of epic peeps working on it. There we go. That's going to run for a while. That one's going to run for a while. We got some more in here. That's 15,000. So let's go ahead. Let's just use this one. Up here again. Stack some of that back in there. And now, why am I doing that? Why am I splitting it up like that? Because it'll be the most efficient way of working, where all of it is running at the same time. As much of it as I can. Of course, it's going to be at 1/4 the speed, right? If you have it working in one, it's going to get so many done in so much time. But if you have it working in a whole bunch of them simultaneously, obviously it's going to be going at 4 times the rate than before. The same thing with when you're converting stuff and that stuff. But there is a point of diminishing returns where literally you're not going to be able to keep up with it. So you might as well just at some point say, oh, that's good enough. That's good enough, which is what I'm going to do right there. All right, we're going to go ahead and just take all this concrete out. We're going to let that concrete run. I always try to have the stuff running at the same time I'm doing stuff, because then it's just much more efficient. Try not to get stuck in those again. Oh, I hear somebody. Thought I heard somebody. Oh!
How about I empty your pockets?
How about I shoot you in the head? That's a traveling NPC. That's part of the War of the Walker mod here, which is a lot of fun. There is no hug for. There is no spoon. Kismet, how did you get such a massive storage on your mini bike? It's part of the War of the Walkers mod that allows you to have that much storage. It's pretty nice. My thing, I thought my thing was on fire there for a second. Hold on. Let me go in here and repair this baby. There we go. I've been recklessly driving on my my little moped, I'm sure. All right, let's go ahead and finish this up so we can start on the next part. Again, I'm just holding down the shift key and going as fast as possible. Now, I'm going to miss some, obviously, because I'm just going a little too fast for the game to process it. Though it does usually, if you find the right combo, the right angle, it does do a good job of getting a whole lot of it. I just come back and get the rest later. It's how I prefer to do it. Some people like to go very meticulously and do it onesie, twosies, and just kind of walk across and do it as they go. This is too OCD for some people. They're like, Kismet, you missed them. Gotta go back and get them. Don't worry, I'll get them. They're not going nowhere. Unless a cop comes by and blows up, they'll be right there. All right, now's the fun part. Gotta take that rebar frame up because it's damaged. Put this one back down and bammo, fill it in. Now, the cool thing about using rebar frame is you only need to fill it in once. If you use wet concrete, you have to come back and do it again, which is why I love to use the frames. The rebar frames are the true genius, I think, or just the frames idea in this game are the true genius because it allows you to build stuff before you fill it in, before it's permanent, and then take it back down again, which I really, really like. I like the fact that you could dismantle the entire thing before you commit to it being a final thing, right? Like, I could take this all back out again if it was just frames and say, well, you know what, I changed my mind, and then be good. Be perfectly okay with that. But such is the way it goes. Once you decide you're good to go. Now, of course, if you decide that you don't like this, even after you filled it in with some concrete, best to remove it right away. Because it's only going to be, see one back there I missed. It's only going to be 3,000 if you use wet concrete. It's going to be 1,500 while it's wet right here. When the wet concrete dries, by the way, on that first one. But this right here is only 1,500. So if I wanted to, I could take all these out, these darker ones right now, while they're drying, very, very quickly. So if I did decide that. Now, once it dries, when you go from rebar frame and you fill rebar frame in with concrete, it's going to be 6,000. They're much harder to remove. Though I do have an auger, which is one of my favorite things in game. where I could take it out. It wouldn't be too difficult. Let's go back this way. I hear a plane. Oh, there we go. Airdrop coming in. Coming in. Now, I used to run out and get those, but my peeps like to run and get them, so I usually let them do all that kind of fun stuff and loot the mobs and all of that. All right, we're getting close, everybody. We're getting close. All we got to do is just do this outer frame. Now, this has been kind of a labor of love over many, many weeks of us working away on this. We keep our server always up, runs 24 hours a day, so if people just want to pop in, say, hey, Kismet, I want to pop in and work on something. I want to make a house. I want to make a building, whatever they want to do. It is available for them to do so. Thanks to the awesome peeps at Untitled who support the stream. Bam. All right, let's get some frames in here. Get this going. There we go. Let's make sure we've got no gaps under there. Nope. Okay. Now, as you can see, some of this stuff looks different, right? Kind of like a rough cement. That's because we're using wet cement pieces, and we have to go in and kind of fill it in like so. And if it's damaged, it'll repair it, then fill it in. And then it will come in at that 6,000 rate. And you can see that we're slightly, that the ground level is actually changing. See, as we move this way, the ground level is actually rising, or we're going down, I guess, depending on how you look at it. But you should always start from one side, right? Then you know that you're going in a flat direction, right? So as we go further this way, the actual ground will be higher and higher, and we'll actually have to undercut it to take multiple levels of it out. But right now, you can see as we're taking it out here, we're also taking out some of the water, which we'll come back and we'll solve later on. Let's go ahead and repair this auger here. And we'll go ahead and take out a lot of this stuff around here. Now, if you do run into the problem where you cut too low, we can also come back and fill all this in just a bit. There we go. We can come back and we can fill all this in with frames, of course. Like so. We're just going to fill it in. Now, we don't really need to fill in all of this area underneath here because we can leave that as dirt. It should be just fine. But when we do collect like dirt and whatnot, right now we're collecting sand. But when we do collect dirt, we can go ahead and convert that dirt. You should always be crafting, especially early in this game. But you can go ahead and convert it into some grassy ground, which you can see that I have here. So anything that I've kind of screwed up, if it's down too deep, deeper than my actual level that I want to do here, I can just go ahead and say, oops, and just kind of fill it in. But nothing so far right now. But right here, we're going to be cascading this down, right? Much like this. We're going to be bringing all of this all the way down to the bottom. Now, one of the problems when you do this, though, is that the mobs could run into this edge like that, right? Instead of it being angled. So you've got to watch out for that when you're running it down. Also, you don't want to be too sharp, right? Because we're doing kind of an angled wedge here. So you want it to kind of follow the line of the other stuff and not cause a block like that. If you can't go through it, then the mobs can. But if you're just walking forward and you can get past it, usually the mobs can. And again, we're kind of following along this edge here. So let's go ahead and keep on keeping on. Let's fill this in here. And always be listening for mobs, because mobs love to sneak up on you, especially when you're in the water. They love to sneak up on you and gank you while you're in the water. Now, I like to crouch when I'm doing this. As you can see, we're getting to kind of a 2-level thing here. Again, we're running an auger underwater, which is always fun. So sometimes it cuts down beneath you, which is not what you want it to do, or sometimes it just acts like it's not cutting at all, which is really awkward. Now, you can come in, of course, and just take out all the water. Another level up. You can come in and take out all the water. I find it takes longer to do that than just to do what you're trying to do, right? And again, here we go. We're a little too deep there. Let's go ahead and fill that in with those grassy ground. Right there, same thing over here. Sometimes it gets a bit unwieldy when you're doing this kind of stuff. Like so. All right. Bam. Fill that in. Nice. Okay. So we've got an edge right there. I'm going to just go ahead and go along with what the edge he's got now. And we're just trying to mix up our edges a little bit. So it's just not, you know, the same thing over and over and over. Now I'm going to also fill this area in here with just that. Way back in there. And we can use this kind of like a ledge. Fill in all of this stuff. See, we've got some stuff cut down there that we need to fill in. And I'm going to show you the secret to water, the hardest thing in the game. We're going to be fooling around with that later on as well. Oops. There we go. We're going to be fooling around with that later on. Now, right now, you can see we've got some pieces here. Some angled pieces as we're going along. Now, we can make some frames that allow us to do that, or we can use our wet concrete, which we have right up here. And thank you so much to Helen Hayun. I know there's a secret that. Hey, Uncle Corey. There we go. Hey, Uncle Corey, thank you so much for dropping the Dragon Hammer, crushing the follow button, becoming part of the Kismet Army. I know you guys make those tricky names just to test me. I think I passed the test on that one. I passed the test. Now, we can also get some ramps. Let's get some various pieces here. We got a whole bunch of various concrete pieces that we made previously. We'll get those going on. Now, depending on the size that you use, right, if you're using a ramp, the ramp is, of course, going to be much of a steeper angle, like this, right? We've kind of set the precedent now of that steeper angle right here, and then I will make the longer angle out there. But I'm going to go ahead and just go with it since that's what we had from before. Notice how I've got the dirt in just the right place, except for down there needs a little bit of love. All of this needs some frames. Get those frames in there. Now again, this is our mega compound. This is a build beyond all the other builds that we have done. We've done a lot of really big builds. And we've done some builds where we took our big stuff that we built and tried to miniaturize it and make it just as effective as the larger version of it. And we have done that. The Kismet Kill Box is one of those examples. For Horde Night, when all the people attack, we have a very, very simple design now that we've kind of iterated on and did, improved upon it over the many times that we've played. And now it is just sublime in how awesome that it is. In the fact that we can fight off pretty much any Horde Night that we want to. Now, one of the things about the War of the Walkers mod here is the fact that it actually has less zombies overall, which is kind of a bummer because I think it's a little too little. Right? It doesn't feel like it's really that much of a challenge after a while, especially with my crew, who is incredibly good at what they do, especially working together as a team. They do a really, really good job of working together. Again, let's fill this in. I think this right here is a little low. Yep, that's a little low. Again, all of this will need to be removed eventually. You see when it goes down like that, we want to go ahead and put that grassy ground. Now, I can also put a rebar frame in there if I wanted to. But I've been told by my peeps it takes up too much resources, so such is the way it goes. Also notice that it's removing the water, too. If you want to remove water, the thing you have to do is basically surround it up above and underneath and around it and all of that with frames, and as you fill in the frames, the water will get removed. As long as you're above those particular frames. Alright, so we'll go ahead and just keep on keeping on here with this edge. Oh, there's something way back at the back there that needs to be filled. There we go. And we'll go ahead and just fill this edge with this. Now again, because we have this edge here, When the mobs run up, boom, they're going to run up into this, and then they will attempt to destroy that edge. Oops. They will attempt to destroy that edge there because they are blocked. Whenever they run into something that's blocking them, they will attempt to destroy it. Yeah, this was Roe working on this side right here. And we'll go ahead and just leave it, see how it works out. All right. Then again here, we've got some blocks, which we don't necessarily want it to be blocks. We want it to, of course, cascade down, down into this bottom area. And again, we need to go in here, clear a bunch of this. Now, the smart thing to do is to get down at the level that you want to cut stuff. And if I make some damage to concrete or whatnot, oh well. Oh well, I can always put it back in again. But again, what we want to do now that it's starting to get higher and higher up, you want to undercut it like so. Now, one of the problems, of course, when you're cutting under here is that it could actually fall on your head. And you don't want it to do that because you will actually die. And I have actually tried it and killed myself doing that. So be careful. You can also undermine some of the construction you already have. There it goes. You can undermine the construction you have. Now, it's really awkward to do this in the water. It's really, really awkward because you kind of go in and out of that kind of water, being underwater and all of that. But I like to go ahead and just take my time, clear it out. You're like, Kismet, you're going to drown? Maybe. Maybe. And that looks probably good. Just kind of clear some of that stuff manually. And it doesn't always cut where you want it to cut, right? Oh, and I'm full. Bunch of crushed sand there. Bunch of crushed sand. Now, again, if I've overdone it a little bit, not intentionally, of course, which it has a tendency to do that. Now, the reason why there's crushed sand on the ground is because it's filling up my inventory right now. Again, see, this is probably the most aggravating part of cutting in the water, is the fact that it does that weird cutting. It cuts too low. There we go. Again, we could block it all off, but it takes way longer to just block it all off at this scale. Right, if it's just a small little thing that you're doing, you can block off all the water, put the stuff in, and then re-put the water back in again. But at this scale, it takes a really long time to clear it, because you got to do a lot of frames, and then eventually we want to put it back as well. So that will slow us down on that front as well. Again, we want to just keep going from the direction we already are. Repair anything that we damaged. Fill in all the rest of it. Let it dry. And then it'll be much stronger. There we go again. And you can see I'm just working along the outside edge. And then you'll see me actually cut out a bit. And we'll try to follow that whole edge along there. We got to get rid of this one. I'm also using my Naga, by the way. Hello, says, hey, Uncle Corey in the chat. Everybody see some Kismet highs in the chat. Doing great. Having a great night. As you can see, back to some 7 days to die. Always fun. Got to run unfortunately. Tell him hi. See ya, Young Con. Take it easy, man. Take it easy. Thanks for hanging out in the stream. Sorry I missed you, bro. Sorry I missed you. I get in the zone sometimes. First time catching the stream. I get in the zone. Going good, man. Going good. I'm bummed I missed him. Young Con's been working on some epic artwork for us. Very, very nice of him to kind of do me a solid there on some of the artwork that I needed for another project that I have going. You guys will see that pop up very, very soon when I have more to announce on that. But amazing artist, by the way. I love to support creative peeps here on Twitch. They are amazing. I am a creative person as well. I am a graphic designer, but I don't do graphic design for anybody anymore. This is what I do. I am a Twitch streamer. I do typically games, though on the rare occasion I will do creative stuff from time to time. when I'm so inclined to do so. It just takes a lot of prep work to do creative streams, I find. And the creative streamer on Twitch is at a huge disadvantage because, of course, their primary focus is gaming, of course, which is understandable. That's their primary audience. But yeah, the creative streamer has a real tough time. So I try to help. The creative streamer as best as I can. Now let's go ahead and kind of backtrack what we're doing up here. All right, so we got this going. We've angled this edge here. And I kind of feel like we've got this upper edge here. Should come way down further than that. Huh. Yep. Should I just continue that on, or should I try to do it? I'm just going to continue it on. We'll just keep with what's there. And on this particular build, I'm trying to do more of a slope, a lower slope, as opposed to a steep slope. The steep slope is the easy way. It's the kind of the shortcut, right? You can make a really steep slope and you're good. But the cool thing about the wedge slope, which is what I have up here, is the fact that it looks more like an aqueduct and less like a vertical thing here. So I don't know. I may come back and change this later. I'm very particular in how I build. Let's see what we can put in here. For now, let's get this filled in, and we'll deal with all that later on. How are we looking up here? Okay, this is good. Get this out. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and extend this out here. Again, lots of frames to be filled in. Again, working with water is, of course, the toughest thing in 7 Days to Die. Both when you're trying to fill it in and when you're trying to do this kind of stuff. Where you're trying to, take out. You're trying to take stuff out. You're trying to add stuff in. I see there's a thing under there. There we go. It can be fairly annoying, because when you're taking stuff out, it's like taking the stuff out below what you're aimed at, right? It's like taking out the sand below you, and you don't really want to do that. You want to just take it out nice and even, which is much easier to do if you're not in water, obviously. And again, you can take the water out, but it takes longer to do so as well. So, and I've tested it both ways, and I find it's just easier just to kind of suffer through having the water in your way, speed-wise, to get it done a bit faster, especially on this scale where you're just doing a massive amount of concrete, a massive amount of removal, and then re-angling of it. Now we've got a nice straight edge here with kind of like a little bit of a zig in the thing here. And you can see I've got a bunch of frames going along that outside edge, which is just kind of marking the edge of this kind of drop off. And we want to go ahead and use the angle that we've already got set in there by other peeps, right? So we've got this angle. Now I'm going to come back to this corner here in a second. Best thing to do is do corners after you do the straight pieces. So we're going to go ahead and do this straight piece right here. And we're going to use some wedges, of course. Now also we can go ahead and just fill in underneath here. So that was just removed a little bit too much. So we're going to create this lip here. You're going to need to fill that lip in. You can fill it in with frames as well. If you do a little bit too much, you can take it out. And then we need to see at what angle we're going to put that at, right? So we're going to go ahead and put a wedge right here. And we're going to see how that wedge lines up. Well, obviously it doesn't line up very well, right? So it's kind of like an offset. So we need to use a different type of wedge, which is this concrete wedge tip, which is going to match up to the current wedge that we have. So we're going to accidentally put that down, get that out. Oh, we got a whole bunch of peeps coming in. Stuff, party people. Woo! Target practice. Get up in the club! Bam! What you got, girl? Meep meep. Kismet drive-by. Meep meep. Meep meep. Call that the Kismet drive-by. Dead zombies. Bunch of them. I'm sure they got tons of loot on them, too. But am I going to loot them? Nope. I just leave them there. I got other stuff to do. I'm busy. Busy up in here. I got stuff to do. I like trying to fix this edge. All right, let's try that again. If I can remember how to rotate my stuff now. Wow, I actually forgot. Right click to put it down, left to rotate it. All right. Sometimes when you play so many building games, you forget sometimes. You forget. Left to rotate. There we go. And then right to put it down. There we go. Now we've got our angle started there. And we'll do the same thing right here. And then we'll just do that kind of first kind of 4. Now we've got the angle that we want to come all the way out and reach all the way out here. Now we got a bit of a problem in the fact, get myself out of here. Got a bit of a problem in the fact that this edge here, right, didn't angle down soon enough. Right, it probably should have angled down up here, and we kind of put the blocks a little bit too close to the edge. Because what they're supposed to do is come down and end up along this edge, right? So it's actually supposed to go up and back further, but because of the way it's built now, we have to actually extend it out this way, as opposed to kind of backtracking from below back that way, because we already filled it in. We're just going to leave it. We'll just work around it for now. But that's something I would fix if I was so inclined, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm ready to just make this happen here. So let's go ahead again, fill this in. Now we're just going to work on this edge here. Again, this is a nice straight edge here, so this is fairly easy to get started in there. Let's go ahead and fill all this in as well. Don't need that right now. There we go. So again, we got to create a nice angle. Now sometimes this happens. See where the little tree's in the way? Got to knock that tree out of there and then put that in there. See, it's going to be in that little awkward position there. There we go. Yeah, we're just kind of stacking it out a little bit. Try to create a plateau here for this to land on. Let's see if that works. And then again, we're going to be switching back and forth between the wedge and this one. All right. So now we'll go ahead and go to this one. And as you can see, now it fits in there nice and perfectly. And then we'll go to this one, which also fits. And kind of back and forth. Like so. Now you can see down here we need some more to create kind of a landing for it. And again, you could fill that all in with concrete if you wanted to, but you know, concrete's kind of at a premium here. And it does take time to get it and craft it and all of that, so I'll try to be respectful of my peeps' time. Let's see. Oh, actually I should have too much for now. There we go. Alright, we're still going. Now we need to also look at where our current ground is, right? And we want the ground to be the same all the way across. Like so. So we're going to go ahead and look at the current ground, and we're going to say, okay, well maybe right out here, down in here. Let's go ahead and clear all this to try to line it up. I always try to do just a little bit first, right, to line it all up, get it all correct. Dead zombie parts down here. So try to line it up a bit first. And again, it does this, like, loves to make these kind of cuts way down below. You spend a little bit of your time fixing this kind of cuts where you don't really want it to go. Now see all that sand there? That sand will eventually disappear. which is good, but I probably should offload some of this stuff. Let's go ahead and do that a bit. Let's offload some of this concrete. We don't need to carry that much on us. There we go. Another cool thing you can do, by the way, is click that little bag and it auto sorts it for you. I love that auto sorting. Very, very cool. Now we're just working on the edge for right now, and then we're going to come back. We're going to do all that other stuff in a bit. But again, we're looking at how this is coming down here. Let's go ahead and just take a look at it by putting it in there. And sometimes hard to see because of the water or whatnot. Definitely need to put some more of these in. We want to look at how it is. Take this one out. There we go. I don't worry about dying or drowning or anything like that. Look at that. See how it's not sitting on anything, how it falls? So we have to fill that back in again. Again, very difficult to work in water because it's just, you're constantly going in and out of perspective there. But it is doable. There we go. And again, filling that in. We look at where we're at. Okay, right here is where the blocks are going to be filled in. So that's kind of the bottom edge. All right, let's say right about here. And we'll get those wedges back in there again. Wedge here. Like that. And then got our nice solid ground. And there we go. All right. And then again, go in, fill all this in. Again, if we need to come back, we need to modify. You can actually modify the entire world, which is awesome. Very, very awesome. You don't, Kiz, you don't need to practice. You're a sniper. Exactly. Exactly. What's he building, says the Skivvy Scholar. I am building what's known as our mega compound. Let me get up here and give you a little peeky peek. This is our aqueduct right here. Part of our mega compound. As you can see, we have a gigantic, by the way, this is a city right here. That's a city. That's our cement biome, as we like to call it. Also, our mega compound, as you can see, we're running it all the way out. Right now, I'm walking along the edge of the aqueduct. You can see we've already got the far side done. We've got a bridge that we're going to be building here. And, of course, we're going to have the water overflowing. And we were learning how to master water and bring up the water level, which we have mastered. We have figured out how to do that. And we're going to have to bring up the water level all the way across. I know, crazy, yeah. Crazy. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun stuff, though. It's always challenging to try to figure this stuff out, right? Now, this part right here is fairly easy because this is just going to be straight, and we'll actually just kind of cut it out as we go. But over here in the corner, we need to kind of think of how we are going to shape this corner out along the same lines, right? Now, we've got some different shapes and whatnot that we can use. We can angle it. We can do different stuff. I really like... Get up out of the water. There we go. I really like this over here. Now, again, I'm at nighttime now, so it gets a little spookier. Gets a little scarier. The mobs run now. I like this kind of edge like this. See this long edge to try to counterbalance those corners. So let's see if we can do a little bit of that long edge action. Now, let's take a look at what we're using over here first. We're kind of using a combination of kind of an inside edge and a kind of top edge as well as an angle. So we're using like this, the wedge full corner, as well as we're using the inside corner and a wedge corner top. And they kind of alternate as you go down. So we'll go ahead and work with that. And I let Ro kind of do his thing right here, which he did a good job. So we'll run over here and we'll just kind of find that corner, right? Which is probably right here. So we're going to go ahead and try to put the corner down and then try to fill in around that corner. Now we can do the same thing right here. We can go ahead and just put this edge in and try to corner it down like that and then just kind of smooth the corner edge. So let's go ahead and actually start with right here. Now, of course, we want the corner to start above. So we'll go ahead and take our two wedges, much like the wedges we have now, right? You have kind of the bigger wedge and you have the smaller wedge. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with this one and see if it can fit right there. There it does, very nicely. It fits in that edge. Again, also going to need a whole bunch of grassy ground because no reason to waste all of our stuff here. So we'll go ahead and fill this in as we go. And we'll pull up all these rebar frames here. Fill that in here as well. Love doing this. Now, there's some concrete that I already filled in down there. I'm not going to take it out and redo it. We're just going to leave it for now. Got to rebuild back up this kind of mountainside here a little bit. Again, if I did too much, I can always take it back out. Great thing about this game is you really have the freedom to make whatever you feel like making. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And again, what we want to do is we want to take this edge and we want to run it down, and then we're going to kind of run these edges at the same kind of angle, right? We'll run two edges and then try to fill it in as we can. So let's go ahead and start with that. And again, we're going to need to put one here. So we'll use the smaller one here, but notice it doesn't quite reach the top of there because we want to keep it at the same angle. So we're going to need to put that one in. There we go. And then try to get it to come up here. Still doesn't go. Let's go ahead and fill this one in. Then let's go ahead and do that one and rotate it. And now you've got that kind of matched edge. Then you just rinse and repeat and try to fill in that matched edge all the way down. Again, this definitely takes some work to redo or fill this in, which I don't think this was filled in with dirt before, but we have to kind of make it work. Try to get these corners. Again, this is, you could do this a lot easier. You could just make it angled and just take the easy way out, which a lot of people would do. A lot of people would just be like, Kismet, why don't you just make it, angled and, quick and easy mode? Well, that's boring. Boring. I like to challenge myself to do tougher stuff, right? And again, if the angle isn't right, like right there, I put a little bit too much in there. Just take that sucker right out. And then put that baby in. There we are, looking good. Now again, we got to alternate. So now we want to put this one in. And sometimes it's hard to see the angle, but you can always take it back out again if it doesn't quite do what you want it to do. Let's kind of fill that edge in again. See if we can get this one in. There we go. And there we go. Looking good so far. And mobs love to gank you, by the way. They love to gank you when you're doing this kind of stuff, especially at nighttime. So they're just planning my demise right now. They're like, wait till Kismet gets lulled into a sense of security, which I never do in this game because I always feel like a pack of dogs is going to appear up out of nowhere every second. And they love to lure you in a sense of security and then gank you. So watch out for that. Watch out for it. And again, we'll go back to this one. I'll fill in all the rest of this later on, but right now we're just trying to get the right angle. And I find getting up above it helps you get that right angle. There we go. Looking good. I need one more right there. One over there. Right there. Then we've got the bottom one. We're going to put in. There we go. One more there. All right, so now we've got our angle. Now again, you can do this 100 different ways. Whatever you like to do, whatever floats your boat, go for it. Go for it. But for me, I'm going to go ahead and go with something pretty much like that. Looks like it lines up fairly well. Now it's fairly easy because you know what your bottom edge is going to be, right? And then you just got to fill in the top edges along there. So we're going to go ahead. Again, get these back and work with these a bit like so. Again, the cool thing is you also have pre-existing pieces, right? So you can actually just go along those pre-existing pieces and fill those in like that. And because it'll attach to those pre-existing pieces and you're good. Like that. Makes it nice and easy. You can fill in anything that should be filled in underneath. And then try to straighten that out a little bit. There we are, looking good. Same thing here. Fill that in a little bit. All right, looking good. And then you can also just kind of go across and look how nicely that matches up right there, right? And the same thing down here. We'll go ahead and use this other piece. Line that up, lines up to the corner. Very, very nicely. Now again, the pieces that I'm using are wet concrete wedge and wet concrete wedge tip. That's what I'm using right now. Before I was using the wet concrete wedge full corner bottom and wet concrete wedge full corner top. A lot of these pieces are kind of the, they work in conjunction with each other. And there we go. Very quickly and very easily, we have gotten that shape rocking and rolling. Again, we'll fill this in. Oops. Threw me off there. Fill this in. Nice, nice. Get in there. There we go. And again, I can just skip a row if I want. Skip a row, line it up, and come back to that other row, because I was already on that other piece. Oh, and then we're out. Now, when you run out, you got to use your concrete here. You got to use your concrete to make some more of them. Now, I will have to come back and fill them back in again. What we're using is we're using wedges. So we want to the wedge concrete tip here. We're going to need at least, I don't know, 100 at least. I'm going to go ahead and let that craft for a bit. Now here's a little trick, by the way. You put it in here, and then you lift this up. And then what it does, it shifts to your belt. Notice it's filling in the belt now. Then you take these and put them in there. You got to let it go to the belt a little bit first. And now they'll just continuously pop into your belt, which makes it easier on you. As long as you don't use the last one, it'll continue to put it in your belt versus your inventory. All right, so that's looking good now. We've got a nice edge there. We've got a beautiful edge shape. We just need to kind of fill in these corners yet again. And again, we'll just kind of match corners, much like we did before. So first we'll start with this one and see if that matches. Nope, we've already got that in the corner right there. So we actually need the other corner. This one here. Which is this one. There we go. And that will try to do it. But uh-oh, wait a minute. What's going on there, Kismet? Hold on. That's not working because it's got that hard edge, right? And we're trying to keep it as a soft edge. That's because that is not a top, right? That's not this. That's not a corner. It's actually an inside corner, like one of these. And we just happen to have some of those as well. Let's grab those inside corners. And let's see which one works best, right? So we'll go with number 7 here. And we'll rotate that around. And click that. And there we go. See, that inside corner is working. So this is kind of like a top corner. And this is an inside corner, which is kind of the opposite, right? So it's kind of going down as opposed to going up, much like a pyramid. All right. And then we'll just kind of alternate like we were doing earlier. And these are kind of the pieces that pair with each other, right? That kind of inside edge. And then, of course, you've got all of this in here, and you want to take out all of these trees that are kind of going, and you're like, okay, well, how am I going to make all of this work, right? Well, it's just the same pieces you've been using before, right? These kind of wedge pieces, right? So you can kind of use your wedges to try to fill those in. Same thing with this. I don't need a nail gun right now. We'll go in and work on the tricky stuff. Now, we're working on the kind of more advanced building right now, the more kind of tougher segments to try to... I put a straight one there, okay. To try to kind of work the corner a bit more with style, right? Because you don't want to make your building too boring. Too boring. You want to put some flair in it. Put some flair in that stuff. All right, and then this one, of course, inside corner. Now, is it the little inside corner? Looks like it is. See how it fits there? Very nice. Same thing up here. Rotate this. Now, this one right here is going to need to be down a little bit. That's because we're going to put this one in there. And again, a little bit too much thing there. There we go. And again, it works really, really well if you understand how the pieces are paired. right? All these pieces have a pair, right? You have the larger piece and the smaller piece, larger piece and the smaller piece. Like that. Looking beauty-muss. Look at that beautiful edge. Loving it, loving it, loving it. And then down here, of course, much easier. Much easier. We can just go ahead and do this. And we're going to just assume that this edge is going to stop right here. So we're just going to fill that in all the way. Even though we did fill in a bit there. And we got a bit of a problem here now, right? We got this kind of edge that goes right to here. Take this one out. And then once again, we'll go ahead and, let's see, we need an 8. Yes. And then again, sometimes it's hard to visualize how the stuff is doing. As you can see, now we've got a bit of a corner problem, right? You can also go in and just wedge it down like that. But then, of course, it does like a weird corner there, too. So this is when stuff gets tricky, right here. Because you don't actually have the piece that you need, right? The piece we need to make this work doesn't really exist, right? But I can go in and I can rearrange this as best I can. Try to make it match up, right, like that. But see how it lines up to this edge, the smaller edge, but then this piece is now incorrect, right? And the piece above it's incorrect. So it can be very, very maddening to make that work. But we'll come back to that in a minute. We'll come back to that. Let's keep on target here. Let's get this filled in. I'm always listening for zombies too. Listening for zombies thinking about coming in and eating my face. Now all this needs to be filled in, obviously, because we're going to be doing this here. Now I can choose, by the way, to leave this as a hard edge or whatever I want to do, right? I can choose to do that. I can block it off right here, or I can just take this completely out and make it square if I want to, or I can make it angled out. I really want to angle it out, and this part right here is kind of awkward because, again, it's not following the edge like the rest of mine is, right? It's not a wedge, it's a ramp, right? All of this ramp stuff is throwing off all the rest of my wedge stuff. So what we might need to do is, of course, come up here and fill this in as a wedge. Now, before you get too far, now's a good time to decide whether you want to do that or not. Now, this over here I think I can get away with, but right here, this right here should probably go out as a wedge. So let's go ahead and see if we can just maybe right here. Let's go ahead and start right here. And again, we'll just leave the concrete that we already have existing and just kind of fill in a bit of this edge like that. And then we'll come in again. Now, eventually, of course, you're going to reach a point where you're just going to have a really weird edge when you mix and match these together. And you're just going to have to do what you got to do to make it work. Like so. Then we need this one. Put down that down below. This is going to be this one. And then you got this. All right, so now your corner angle is right here. Right, so that corner angle is going up right like that way. So let's go ahead and start with a 7 down here at the bottom, which is going to match up to that corner angle. And then, of course, you've got this weird issue right here where it doesn't match up. All right, so your corner angle is actually right here. Take some of that out. Take this out. Now we're going to go ahead and do this. Again, don't be afraid to put it in and take it right back out again. There we go. Now we have it coming down, angling around that corner, going around this corner, and so on. Let's go ahead and keep filling this in. Right there. And you're like, Kismet, I don't understand anything you're doing. Well, don't worry, I'll make it more apparent as we go along. I think you guys will get the idea. And I'm just using pieces that pair with one another. Oops. Got a wet concrete wedge. Another 100 of those. And while we're waiting for that, let's go ahead and fill in this row right here. What I'm doing is just kind of fixing this. Again, if you've already got concrete in there, don't worry about it. Just leave it in there. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Again, I love doing this kind of stuff. I love going in and finding those unique shapes. Again, bring this in here. Hold this up for a second. Let it start to put some down there. Once it starts putting them down there, then you can put that on top of there. And it will fill it in your bar. Oh, there we go. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. We're coming in at a wedge edge here. Take that out. Make sure we've got the proper wedge in there to match up to all of this. Again, sometimes it's hard to see. There we go. Nice. Nice, nice. And then, of course, we'll go our smaller wedge. Looking good. And then 8. Now, it helps if you have a naga, a razor naga, because I can just hit 8. I can hit the different stuff. And there we go. Lines up fairly well. Fairly well, fairly well. All right. Now, of course, we've got this kind of double edge coming together. Again, sometimes it's really hard to work with the water in your way. Really hard to work. So that's coming down. And make sure that corner comes all the way down. Match that up. Let's put in 7. Need to fill that in under there. You don't have to fill it in. I mean, you can, if it's structurally okay, you'll be fine. But again, don't like that edge. Don't like that edge. Let's go with 7. Like that. Then we're like this. Okay. Again, we have that corner angle there. Let's finish up here. Let's see. 6. There we go. All right, so we got this corner done. And again, we're trying to work it into this corner. It just takes a little bit of finesse. A little bit of working it. But again, you see that we've got an inside corner. And now we've got a problem with our edge again here. Where we can try to use our wedges. Which we'll go ahead and just rotate this around. And there we go. So we can kind of use our wedges again. Our kind of outside wedges to give it that rounded effect. And then, of course, switch back and forth. As we go. As it kind of goes up the edge here. 6. Again, I find it's easier to just kind of skip every other one. Like this, so you can kind of counteract that kind of edge. Like that. And then you find yourself kind of constantly switching between all this stuff. Back to 5. Or 4 in this case. 4 here. Get that out. Okay, now, if this water's getting in your way, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to remove water. Those who have not discovered it yet. You simply just put blocks over the top of the water, like this. And then it does remove the water. Like this. So it just makes it easier. You're just doing a small area. If you're doing a large area, this can be very cumbersome because you got to put a lot of frames down. And then once you do that, most of the water should disappear. Now, if you didn't get it all, if you didn't cover it all up, that water will reappear. So make sure you get it all if you're going to do it. There we go. So we just remove the water. It'll make it a little bit easier for us to work these edges. And again, we're trying to bring those edges down. We're trying to line them up over here. to this edge. Again, look how our kind of double edge there kind of ends up a little weird. So I usually find that working down at the bottom here works a bit better. Start from the bottom and work your way up. Works better. Hello, crazy, what's up? Wow, right? Yeah, big, right? It's going good. How you doing, crazy, says Game Killer. Finally found the ARC server I was playing on again. We lost it for a few weeks. Oh, bummer, crazy. Bummer, bummer. Oh, there's some people that want to party. What's up? Let's party. Meep, meep. Meep, meep. You dead. You dead. You dead. Oh, missed you. I'll get you the second time. Meep, meep. Meep, meep. Kismet drive-by. All right, I'd love to smack you all with that thing, but I got other things to do. Hip fire, headshot. Bye-bye. I would get up in the club with y'all, but, you know, I'm busy. I'm trying to build something over here. You see, I'm trying to build something beautiful. Beautiful over here. All right. And again, we'll go ahead and keep on fixing our corners here. Now, this could be an endless thing, by the way. You can just keep going and keep going on these corners. But I'm just going to try to angle this one out right here. We'll just try to do this, and then we'll move on. We got a straight edge coming up, so that'll be nice and easy as well. That we'll just do that whole straight edge in a row. And again, we're trying to bring this in. We're trying to line that up right there to the edge we've already got. Now, this right here is a corner like this. Rotate that around. Nice. And there we go. We got a nice kind of double corner edge, right? Got that coming in. Looking good. We're going to go ahead and just corner edge all of this as well, which means now we got to fill in more of this stuff. Again, I just leave the concrete there. Leave it there. No one's going to even know it's there when we're done. Except for you guys will know it's there. And I'll know it's there. But other than that, nobody else will know. Who hasn't actually watched me do it here on the stream. Well, bam. Alright, now that can affect your structural integrity of your stuff, though. So do take that in mind. If you do leave stuff open like that, that it can affect it. Okay, and again, I always work from the bottom back upwards, right? Especially when I've already got my angle. Because it can kind of screw you up. And then your whole entire angle is off. Again, need a lot more of these. And we'll just fill this in. And once you kind of have that angle that you're looking for, you're Gouda. You're Gouda. Alright, that looks like a corner there. And I wish I had more stuff in my belt. More stuff in my belt. Now I want a corner edge. That does not look like a corner edge. There we go. Like that. Then I'll go ahead and button. Rotate. Nope. Does not match up. Alright, went one too far. Do it the other way. Line it up this way. There we go. Hey, you make a mistake, just undo it, do it again. Big deal. Big deal. Boom. 7. That's going to be like that. Let's go ahead and fill all this. What I need to fill in. Kismet, why are you not filling it in? Well, the bigger pieces require that bigger space. Oh, there's a nuke coming in, everybody. Someone's nuking the stream. Let's get those wedges in there. Thank you so much for nuking the stream. Who was that awesome person? My name is Bubs coming in with the host. Thank you so much for the auto host. Appreciate it. Big time. Let's go ahead and give a shout out for my name is Bubs. for that host. Appreciate that. Make sure to go show him some love for showing this stream some love here. All right. Oops. Sometimes it loves to do that where it rotates it at the very last second, right before I right click. It loves to rotate. See, like right there. Why did it rotate it? I had it set the way I wanted it to be. All right, this does not work. That's got to go. All right. Otherwise we can't put our stuff in there. A little bit too much there. There we go. All right. Now again, we've got this corner edge, so again, we've got to watch our kind of edges as they're turning here. It just takes a lot of practice to get that going. Again, look how many edges we have going at the same time. That's a lot of edges, right? 1, 2, 3 inner edge, and then we'll have an edge over here that we'll work on as well. But a lot of edges going at once can be very, very difficult to make work. Now this right here, you can see it's not going in there, so we've got to remove what's underneath it. We actually need the larger one, like that. It's kind of a dead giveaway if it doesn't just sit on there, is that you need the larger one. And again, this one here, do we need this one or do we need the larger one? Looks like the larger one. Nice. And again, back and forth, back and forth. Again, if we do this wrong, it's going to end up in the corner where the corner doesn't match up, which is pretty much where we're headed right now. And I'll show you how to fix that. Pretty easy to fix. And sometimes my auger gets a little too crazy. Gets a little too crazy up in here. Oh. And back and forth, back and forth. All right, now we got all this stuff up here in this corner that's not lining up. So how can we fix that? Well, we take it out. Corner. Now again, sometimes this can mess with your overall design. See that now it's way back there. So you can go ahead and try to go with another 8 here, but it'll be too high up. So you have to go one, then the other, and then now it's way back there. But again, one of the problems is that when this part was being built, it was being built way too far forward. It was being built see how this is way out here? It should have worked from the bottom up as opposed from the top down. If you work from the top down, this problem happens where your stuff doesn't line up. So now we have this whole edge here that I have to fix because it's gotta go out as opposed to I could have came up from the bottom and then pushed it back a little bit before I put that edge in. Something to learn about when you're doing this kind of stuff. All right, derp. So that's coming up. This is going to here, right there, and again. Don't be afraid to go in and fix stuff. Okay. And again, we'll go ahead and use our wedges. Shape, and reshape. All right, again, way too much cutting way down there. All right. And we need our 4. And then we need the larger one. Like so. That one needs to be filled. Let's see. This is 4. Like that. Keep reworking it. All right, now we got this problem again right here. And again, now we want to go ahead and try to cap it. All right, so we want to make sure that it matches up on both sides. Now again, this could be one like this, or it can be an inside. Right, so we need to look at that. Let's go ahead and look at our full corner here. Let's see if we can get that to work. Rotate that around, click that. Looks good. Looks good. Big Supper coming in with the bitty bits, blowing it up. Thank you so much for filling up that dragon chalice with those awesome bits. Thanks for coming in. Let's see some Kismet highs in the chat, everybody. Let's see that love, that Kismet high going on. As you can see, we're doing a bit more advanced building. We're trying to kind of create some really advanced kind of shapes and trying to match them together along this edge, so it's just not a straight edge. I mean, we could just make it a straight edge, but boring. I like it when it's a lot harder, right? When it's a lot harder and you're trying to, okay, what do I need to do to make this work? I like that a lot better than just doing symmetrical stuff. And I've done symmetrical stuff, and I've done a ton of different style of building and whatnot. But I do like to go in and make stuff work. Now again, we're trying to make all of these pieces fit together in some sort of semblance of awesomeness. Again, you gotta have your matching pieces. And again, we got the inside edge, then we got the kind of top edge, and back and forth we will go to try to make all this stuff line up. And then again, we'll go ahead and use our, let's see, number 4, I think we're on there. Yep. And then number 4 is going to be right here as well. All right, so we know that's going to be there, but of course there's an empty gap there. And you can just leave small gaps, no big deal, but I'm always afraid mobs are going to spawn under there and then screw up all of your hard work. So I like to take care of it as best we can. Again, we're getting a nice square edge here. This is fairly easy, right? We got an inside corner. We've got this other edge here. We've got this almost done up here. We're making some good progress. Some good progress here in the more complex building. All right, and then we need the small one along there, which is this one. Try to flatten that out. Nice, nice. And we're getting to the final stages of this particular spot. And then we'll just kind of work on that other edge over there just a bit. Now, one of the problems with using grassy ground is it actually starts to grow grass. You put it in there. So sometimes you've got to work quickly before that grass fills in and makes it much more difficult on you to fill that in. All right, that's a small corner there. Again, if we, if it doesn't line up, or if you make a mistake like that, just take it back out and roll on. Don't beat yourself up too much. Keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing up in here. Now, if you do have a question or comment for me, my name is Kismet. You can put Kiz or Kismet in the chat. It'll highlight in red. I'll know you're talking directly to me. Makes it nice and easy. All right, let's do this. Let's do this, baby. Right up in here. Bam. Bam, bam, bam. I think that's a done, everybody. I think that's a done. You guys like that? Put a 1 in the chat. Look how we match that all up. Looking nice. Now, what can we do right here? What can we do to just make this kind of match up to this without having to redo this whole section over here? Well, the first thing we want to do, of course, make sure we've got it all filled in which we do. And then what we want to do, of course, is put a corner on it. So we'll go ahead and try to put a fairly good corner here. So again, start at the bottom. We'll see if we can just kind of corner this out right there. And then we'll just go with that, that kind of wedge edge. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use some ramps to try to kind of offset this a bit better. All right, if we want to kind of match that edge. Kind of feel like I just want to go edge again. I don't know. I don't want a shortcut. I don't want a shortcut. Let's just do it right. Let's just do it right here. Come on. Let's do this right. We just kind of bring this in. See, now, the problem is this is a low edge and that's a high edge. And that's when you really run into trouble, right? You run into trouble with that because it causes you, because it's so low versus the other part, right? So you can go ahead and say, well, I'll go ahead and try to use the high pieces, but then, of course, you have a wedge problem at the bottom. So we're going to need to just kind of offset this a little bit. Show you what I mean. So a high edge is like this, right? You got this real big piece, right, which has this kind of high edge, like this, which would better match up to this corner right here, right? And then we can put a little corner in there and we'll be just fine. But then, of course, it messes up this edge. So you'll have to bring that edge out just a little bit further, like so, and use the small one, which is not on my bar again. There we go. Small one to match up to that edge again. It's coming out of there. Rotate that around. And then you can give it a bit of a nice flat edge down here. But eventually it's going to reach a point where it's not going to match up well here in the corner. So we'll go ahead and use... Oh, darn it. Man, it's just... It gets a little bit too happy when I tell it to bring that stuff out. A little bit too much. Rotate that around, and now we've got, again, an edge that lines up there. And you start to get this weird... When you're using ramps and wedges together, you start to get this kind of weird corner, which we can't see because, of course, the water's in the way. Let's go ahead and just take it out so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Bam, bam. Put those in there. Put those frames in. Stack them up above the water. We'll put all this water back in later on. Like so. Make sure that you get all the way around the outside edge of wherever the water is. And then, of course, above the water. And don't forget to get it over here as well. It's going to let me. There we go. And close enough. Close enough. And then take out all this framing. See, this is the part that takes a really long time. Putting the frames in and then taking them back out again. But there you go. So now we've got this really weird edge. Right there. Again, we're going to say, okay, how are we going to fix that? Take that out, and then we'll try to put in, again, a wedge like this, right? We can try to maybe match that up. Okay, but then, of course, it goes back that way, right? Okay, what do I do there? Dang it. Too happy. Then we can try to use another wedge like this, but then, of course, it creates that kind of weird corner there. But that's a better solution there because they'll go over it, see? So if you put that in, they have a chance to just go over that without running into kind of a solid wall. But such is the way it goes. And again, we need a corner there. So we can do one of these. Oh! Just Alcara coming in with a 3-month sub love. Everybody loving that. Got liking the ones in the chat. Thank you so much for that sub love. Let's see some hype and love in the chat. For Just Alcara, thank you so much for that sub love. Appreciate it. Appreciate it big time. So, now what's another way of kind of shortcutting this? And I'm going to show you a way of shortcutting it. I don't like to do this, but we're not going to redo this entire thing. We've only got so much time tonight. So we're going to use some wet concrete plates. We're going to make about 5 of those. All right. So what you can do is just literally just go into advanced rotation, holding down R. Go into advanced rotation. There's multiple ways actually of getting this to line up, but now I can just go put that thing on there and it's covered up, right? That's kind of the shortcut, you know, kind of cheap way of doing it. But it works. I mean, it's a perfectly valid way of doing it. Now, again, we have this kind of problem, of course, of this gap here. Let's go ahead and take this out. Right like that. Make sure this is all filled in. There we go. And then this out. Same thing here. Create that kind of weird gap there, right? Like that. But it does allow it to move its way up. Now again, had this been offset back, we could have fixed that a lot better. But again, I'm not going to just keep going, because you can just keep going and just finish that edge out and kind of round it out until it matches up all the rest. But I'm going to leave that. Since Roe made that, I'm going to just leave it. I don't like to take out all my stuff that my other peeps have done, right? So I just kind of work around what they did. It looks very nice. Very, very nice. But you can see how I've kind of shaped the edges a little bit nicer. See, this is what you want. You want this nice shaped edge, because then the zombies don't hit a flat wall. If the zombies hit a flat wall, then they're going to try to break their way through it, right? So something we've tested heavily here in 7 Days to Die, and it works fantastically if you do have that edge. So now we got a nice big straightaway, so that's going to be pretty easy. Pretty easy to do the straightaway, so we're just going to go straight to that. And we'll go all the way over here. Let's see, where's our straightaway end? Say right there. All right, and again, we're going to need to stack up. Now, look how easy this is, right? We've already got the pre-existing thing, the exact thing that we need. We know exactly where we want to fill in, right? We know we want to fill in this whole entire row here. Like so. We want to watch where our marker is here. All right, so instead of spending all the time cutting out all of this and putting down concrete and all that stuff, I'm going to pre-do all of the support structure first. Then I will put all those in, and you'll see it goes really, really fast when you've got it all kind of pre-planned out. Very nice, very nice. And really all of this was going to get filled in here at this first level. Again, I got just a bunch of grassy ground that we've converted from dirt. And it's kind of like a pad, kind of a dirt pad for all of our concrete to go onto. Oh. Like so. Very nice. Okay, now the same thing up here. We'll go ahead and fill in the next row. This really speeds up your building, by the way. Of course, straightaways are always much easier than kind of complex corners, which is what we were doing. Always much better. Kismet, how's your plans for TwitchCon going? Going awesome. Got a bunch of sponsors lined up. Got a bunch of cool stuff happening right now. I got some cool t-shirts coming your guys' way. My mega supporter Demon is going to get the very first one. But then I will make it available for you guys if you want to purchase and support the stream. And show off your awesomeness to everybody. And I will be showing those very, very soon on stream when I have more information about that. Oop, I forgot to do the inside edge. You should do the inside edge first. I probably should have said that and done that. Because otherwise it's real awkward to do it like this. See, this is awkward. Awkward. Again, lots of cool stuff coming through. Just, man, just a lot of work that takes a really, really long time. So people think that, oh, well, Kismet's just, you know, he's been offline. He hasn't been around. He's just, you know, he's just got his feet up. He's not doing anything, right? He's just been, you know, just chilling. No, I've been working hard, man. I've been working really hard. 7 days a week. And when I'm not streaming, I'm always doing something else for the stream. I am probably one of the hardest working streamers on Twitch, I would say. If not the hardest working, but there's a lot of hard working people out there. So I don't think I could take the title of the hardest working, but I could be pretty close. Pretty close. I want it all. I want it all. And I want right, now let's go ahead and get in with our wedges here. Now, these two wedges are the only ones we're going to need. We're going to need this bottom wedge. Oop, that was not far enough. All right, it's going to be feisty. Gonna be feisty. No worries, we got this. Darn water's making it difficult, but we'll do what we gotta do. There we go. And again, now we can just kind of put in the concrete. If it skips one, no worries, we'll come back to it. All right, nice straight edge. All the way down. There we go, nice. And go back, fill that one in. And then we just switch back and forth. Because we've already got our foundation. Just fill it in, nice and easy. Nice and easy mode now, everybody. The straight ones are real easy. Unless it does stuff like that. That stuff always happens. Like, you're going just fine, you're backtracking. You also crouch, by the way, to try to prevent that. But I find it still works fairly good. Oh, and now I'm out again. Out of them again. I got to make some more. Let's make some more right here. This time, let's make 300 of these. Turn my number block on. 300. And craft. There we go. And again, we'll wait for the first ones to come out. Grab it, put it over here. Pick this one up. Hold it for a few seconds. Wait for it to start to go down there. And then put the rest of them down right there. So as it's crafting them, I can go ahead and put them down. Now, I'm trying to get ahead of this grass growing as well, because all this grass is going to start growing up here and making it awkward for me to put the pieces down. As you can see. And I'm going to go ahead and just skip that one there. We're just going to go to this one since we're still on these pieces. Put a few of those down. And then do this. Again, usually what happens is like a plant will get in your way, and that's what causes that gapping. As well. And also crouch. And you can also crouch. Okay, but look how awkward that is when you're crouching. I find the plants make it the worst. Right, it makes it really, really bad. Now we're making some more of those other ones there, so we're gonna go ahead and just try to see how the plant made it bounce up, and then eventually it covered the plant. So you just try to do the best you can do. Thought I heard something. Thought I heard something. Apparently not. That was just me falling. Alright. Fill this in. And when you get by the plants, best to just kind of slow down a little bit. Easy mode. Too easy, everybody. We got this down. Get rid of them plants first. We got this down. We got it rocking and rolling. Nice and sweet looking gigantic aqueduct we're building here. Look at this. Look at this beautiful edge right here. Look at that. Beautiful edge. We just didn't make it straight. We made a beautiful edge today. We've lined up this edge, and we're trying to follow the edge along. Unlike the nice straight thing we did on that side, which is fun. You know, you just straighten it out. And since that's straight, I'll probably straighten the other side. But as you can see, we're building a gigantic base. An absolutely massive one. So going great, Big Supper. How's it going for you, man? Or Big Super, hope you've been doing good. Let's kill Fitz coming in. Thank you so much for dropping the Dragon Hammer. Also, MJ Lee as well, coming in, dropping the Dragon Hammer, crushing that follow button, becoming part of the Kismet Army. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for hanging out. Let's see some Kismet highs in the chat for them, everybody. Welcome them to the stream. All right, so we've got that. Now, as we're running along here, we're just looking at this top edge here, right? Let's just key off this top edge as opposed to down here, because, see, down here, I had it, you know, kind of cutting out right here, right? Down here, I had it cutting. See, it's supposed to be in, and then it cuts out a little bit, and it cuts out a little bit more. But what happened was the top got filled in first, so now I would have to take all this out to match it to the bottom edge. See, it should be matching to the bottom edge, not matching to the top edge. So we filled in this edge a little bit too much, but that's okay. We'll cut a little bit into the aqueduct, and we'll do what we got to do. So as you can see up here on the top, is it's still going flat, right? It's still going along this edge. So I might as well just follow that edge now, and then kind of recover some of my frames. We don't want to waste any frames, and just follow that edge. And I'm just going to follow whatever edge is already pre-existing up there as we go. And again, the first thing we want to do, of course, is kind of set what our edge is. Like this, and then this. It's going back and forth between the two pieces. There we go. And then I like to kind of fill it in. Sure we didn't miss any spots. Let's get our grassy ground. There we go. Nice, nice. Now the small pieces, you need like a plateau. The larger pieces, you want to leave it kind of at an angle, right? So again, smaller pieces with a plateau like that. And then the bigger pieces leave that room. And of course, we want to fill in underneath here. Again, less concrete for us to have to use if we just fill that in. And we're out of grassy ground. No worries. No worries, I happen to have some more. Now we'll have to come back and fill that in over there, and we're just kind of showing different styles of design and whatnot. As well, when you're doing this kind of more advanced stuff. We're, of course, going to be doing really advanced water here in a bit. Hopefully we have enough time for that today. I think we do. I think we're going to have enough time. Messy coming in. Also dropping the Dragon Hammer, crushing that follow button, becoming part of the Kismet Army. Welcome. My name is Kismet. You are in the stream who loves to build. The streamer who loves to build. I love this game. This game is called 7 Days to Die. Also, Squickster coming in as well, dropping the Dragon Hammer, crushing that follow button, becoming part of the Kismet Army. Welcome. Move my bike closer so I can get my stuff out of it. I love to do building. This game is called 7 Days to Die. If you now have not discovered this game, it is incredibly fun. It does have a lot of building that you can do. You can literally take the entire world and take it down to bedrock and build it in your whatever image that you want it to be. And I love to do a lot of what we call mega building. This is our mega compound. Now, we've done large builds before, but this one is pretty big, as you can tell. Now, this is a city, and this is our cement biome. It is quite humongous. We've got, of course, a botanical garden going there. Some towers going. We've got Rowan right now. We've also got kind of a diner here. We've got a gas station. We've got roads that they've put in. We've got Kismet kill boxes, which I'll show you. And, of course, our Kismet kill box for Horde Night. And a lot of other cool stuff. We also got a mine going over here, and I'm kind of working on the hard stuff. I'm working on this kind of aqueduct edge. Now, we did this side straight, right? I let my peeps do that, and they did it straight. And I go, I don't want to do it straight. I want to, give it a little bit of flair, give it a little bit of style down that edge. So we're filling in this edge with concrete. Now, the reason why we're filling in with concrete is because we want it to be like a gigantic aqueduct. Have you ever been to Los Angeles, which is where I'm born and raised, in the OC, as we call it, Orange County. Orange County. I know, there's actually a city called Orange in Orange County. I know. It's confusing, but just roll with it. Just take my word for it. I am now no longer there, though. I'm 3,000 miles away from California. I'm in Tennessee now. My wife's family is from Tennessee. They are from the South. My kids are, I believe, the 5th or 6th generation born and raised in Tennessee. Now, why did I move to Tennessee? Well, it's very simple. When you get to a certain age, you say, you know what, I think it's time for kids. And then, you go, where do I want to raise my kids? Do I want to raise my kids in the same place where I grew up, where I was just trying not to get stabbed or shot every day? Or do I want to find the best schools in the USA, which happens to be in Tennessee, which is pretty amazing. They have a really great school system. Very, very nice. And so it gives my kids, of course, a bit of an advantage in their lives to have exposure to that really great school system. Now, school system I went to, like a lot of, apathetic teachers. Of course, there were some special teachers along the way. I'm not going to say they all were apathetic, but most of them were, like, tenured. They could care less. They were basically babysitting us. That's how it kind of felt. But there were some teachers who are very inspiring, right? Who love what they do. You can tell when they come to work. They're like, all right, we're going to learn some stuff today. I'm going to teach you some cool stuff. I had a great economics teacher that was like that. Very much inspired me greatly to learn it, even though it wasn't a subject I was that interested in. The teacher made it great. And there's a lot of really, really great teachers out there. I'm not bringing teachers down because I have known a lot of great teachers in my many years. I'm also a teacher myself, but I'm really an artist first and a gamer first more than a teacher. Though people do say that I am destined to be a teacher, but I think this is about as close to teaching as I'm going to get. Because I'm more of a doer than a teacher. Some people say that some people do and some people teach. I mostly do and occasionally teach when requested. So that's just me. Now, I don't do teaching anymore. I do have a private post-secondary credential. I can teach adults various stuff. But what I do for a living is you're watching me do it right now. I play games for a living, that's right. We're going to have to fix that edge there in just a bit. But looking good. There we go. Look at all that we got done today. Now, again, all of this will have to be redone again with another layer of concrete. So it'll be nice and strong, but we are looking good. Let's go down here. Let's go ahead and check our matching up. Looking good here. Now, we need to take a lot of this out and redo this, but we're kind of just working on the edge for right now. Working on that edge. We'll come back and we'll do all of that. Eventually, we're just trying to get as much of this edge done tonight as we can. And then we're going to fool around with water. Now, see how we're here in a corner here? We want to go ahead and actually fix this. If you make a mistake or you put some down, no worries. Just take it up, redo it. Redo it, make it awesome. Now, I know that right here, along this edge, is going to be my corner. Pretty much like that. All the way up. Try to match up to this. You can see it kind of goes down in that corner. Then we'll corner it off, and we'll corner it off again over here. Just kind of create these nice, subtle corners on these edges, and then we're going to try to kind of bank it out, kind of like what we got here. So this will be an inside corner. This will be an outside corner, and then again over here, inside corner, outside corner, inside corner. There's a lot of corners to work, but doing it the other way is really dull, I find. Once you start to master building. If you start to get to a point where, you know, you're just doing symmetrical stuff, you're not really challenging yourself, I find. You're really not challenging yourself to do the hard stuff, right? Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a little trick here. I'm going to go every other one here. Oh, we need to fill that back in again there. Hold on a second. We need to fill that baby back in. Let's do it. Baby back, ribs. Now I'm hungry. Now I'm hungry for ribs. Oops. All right. Let's go ahead and put in these inside corners. Okay, so we want to go back and forth with this, right? So you got one up here, which is the big one, then the small one, then big one, and small one. If you don't know what I mean, big one, see, does not fit in the small one, right? Because it doesn't match up. So you've got to go every other one if you want to just do the same piece over and over, right? So you skip that one, you go this one, and then you got the small one, which is the smaller wedge edge right there, right? And then you got a nice inside corner like so. All right, then, of course, you've got a problem here in this corner. You're like, well, wait a minute, because we got an inside corner, but now what are you going to do here, right? Well, then we do the opposite, right? We do a rounded kind of top corner, one that goes up as opposed to going inside. The inside corner, kind of an edge corner. And again, we'll just go ahead and use the two pieces that go together. We've got, of course, the corner bottom and the corner top. And then we'll just kind of go back and forth. Again, we can just skip over and go every other one. But, of course, there's a piece in the way. Right here, right there, right there. So those pieces are in the way, so we're going to need to take care of that. And, of course, we want to fix it later. We can come back and fix it later. Now, again, this one doesn't fit here. This one actually goes here. So I need to fill that actually back in again. There we go. This one goes there. Then the next one goes here. Like that. And then we skip again. And then it ends up down there. Now, again, to when you're doing the smaller ones need to be filled in, right? These ones need to be filled in so they fit on that edge. Like that. And you're like, Kismet, how can you even see that that's the right way? Just practice, really. Because it doesn't... what would be nice if it had like a blue line, like a little dotted line, like in architecture. Typically, you have like a dotted line along edges so that it's a little bit easier to see. I would love to see those kind of upgrades to be able to see the edges better, right? When you're trying to create these edges. Because it's really tough to see. I mean, sometimes it's like, you're like, what the heck? I can't even see any of this. Right now, also what we can do is we can take out this corner and try to fix the corner if we want. We're going to just leave it. We're going to leave that corner edge just to make it a little bit quicker here. If we change our mind later, we can always come back. Remember, you can always come back and fix that stuff up later. So we're going to just leave that kind of hard edge just to make it different. Now, I like to mix it up. You know, it doesn't have to be exactly the same every single time. I do like to mix it up. And let's put in the... oh, not that wedge. This wedge. I like this kind of flatter wedge because it sits into the ground like that. Good. Now we got all this other stuff in the way. We can just leave that stuff if we want. And what do we not need? We don't need the inside. For right now. And again, we're coming all the way down, right? So we want to, of course, look at how we're going to end up here. And taking that out. Put that away at the end. There we go. All right, and then we got this little cap at the end. And then again, we can take this out if we want, right? Or we just leave it in there. No one's going to see it other than us. We will know it's there, but nobody else will. Oh, you little... right when I click is when the water pushes it back. All right, we want to look and see how our edge is. Our edge is going to go something like this, but we're also going to bring our corner down right there. So again, we want to kind of work our corners first. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and start. Oh, we're going to do an inside corner. We're going to do round edge. Now I can do this kind of edge, but then I'd have to offset it backwards and then redo that angle, which I can do. Or I can take this angle and try to match that angle up like that, or I can go in and just do an inside corner, which is the other one, like this. You can see it kind of matches it a little bit better. And again, you can leave a little bit of the edge here, but you need to figure out these angles first before you start to fill in all these other pieces. Because as you can see, we're wasting a bunch of concrete if you don't figure out the corner edges. But if you make a mistake again, just go and do your thing. Do your thing. And sometimes you have to add, take away, add, take away. Such is the way it goes. Alright, we'll go with another inside corner here. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see sometimes. You got to get up on top, rotate it around, see if it matches up. Like that. I love doing complex stuff like this. I love the complexity of doing these kind of corners. Really tests your skills. Especially to get it lined up before you have all the other pieces in. And again, go ahead and bring that out. Getting hungry. I can hear my guy saying, "I'm hungry, Kismet." Derp or derp derp. Ooh, that's gonna go way out there. It's gonna come way out to here. All right, well, let's keep it going. Committed to that inside edge now. Come on. Gotta get that in there. Nope. Take this awkward. There we go. Oh, getting nighttime. Getting scary. Alright, again. That tricky edge in there. And the big one. Oh, you better. Again, sometimes it turns it in the direction I don't want it to be. There we go. Okay. So now we've got that all filled in there. Now is when we make it work. Might have to take stuff out. Might have to put some stuff in. Well, it's looking pretty good. Pretty good. All right. Again, let's go ahead and use some pieces to try to fill this in. And try to square that out a little bit, right? You can just, you know, create some style as well. I mean, it doesn't have to all end up perfectly. But you can create some style in it if you want. You can do this kind of stuff, right? And then just kind of keep working it. So you can do this kind of, you know, stylistic, you know, make it pop up if you want. I don't know, I kind of feel like doing that on this one. Again, as long as they can walk over it and not get stuck, you're fine. Again, I'm just trying to show different stuff today. Again, building the same stuff over and over can get fairly dull if you're just doing the same thing over and over. And again, if we want to do the same kind of style all the way down, of course, we'll alternate. So we'll do one there, one here, one down there, and then, of course, we'll do the big one. Sure we got it rotated the right direction. Just kind of create this funny style all the way down. This is really a style thing. This one's up. They're up a little bit too high. Yeah, this one goes like that. That one goes like that, and then we have a one like this, and then something like that. There we go. And again, we're just being stylistic now. And we can just kind of go back and forth, back and forth. Whatever your personal taste is. It doesn't always have to match up. Don't be too symmetrically boring. Is all I'm saying. It's all I'm saying, everybody. Again, see, it creates kind of a cool kind of back and forth style there. Now this right here I don't like. So that's gotta go. That's gotta go. I don't like it when I can see the dirt. Alright, so I want to kind of cap the dirt and then look at it from different sides. Make sure I'm getting the right piece at the right spot. Like that. Again, you just fool around. As long as they can get over it without running into it, the sky's the limit. Let's just do the same thing here. Let's do non-standard corners, because we already did a bunch of standard corners over there. I already showed you that. Again, just kind of back and forth, and you got to know whether you're going to use a big piece, a deep piece, or whether you're going to use a flat piece as well. And this is less, you know, following the rules and more just stylizing what you got, right? I think we did pretty good there. Stylizing that edge. I mean, it doesn't have to be the same. It doesn't have to be symmetrical. It doesn't have to be exactly so. Maybe in your build it does. But in mine, I don't mind breaking with symmetry. Right? I can make it symmetrical. I can make that work perfectly if I wanted to, just like I did over here for those just coming into the stream. So I can make that work in that nice edge and kind of round the edges and create kind of cool stuff. But sometimes just to make it look cool, it kind of looks like rocks cascading down, which is kind of the gist of what I was trying to build there, right? Again, it's not perfectly symmetrical. Like this one right here is not perfect, and it's not exactly the same as the one above it, and so on. and so on. You guys get the idea. You get the idea. All right, now we want to continue on with what we've got out here. We've got this inside corner here. And now we do want to transition from this kind of stylized to this kind of symmetry flat edge over here. So we're going to go ahead and put that baby in right here. So this is going to be that kind of symmetry edge right here. We're going to just kind of go back and forth on that. Now we already have pieces to attach it to right here. So we can go ahead and just kind of bring that edge down like that. But as you can see, it's kind of acting a little funny. So we have to bring that up a level. You know, I don't want to waste my rebar frames, so I'm going to go ahead and take my frames out now. And again, so he wasn't, when he was doing the top part there, he wasn't following the edge of down here. He was just creating his own edge up there that didn't necessarily match perfectly down here in this part. The rest of this looks like it matches fairly well. But in that top part there, it wasn't quite matching exactly what we were looking for, but that's okay. You know, improvise. Do different stuff. Try different stuff. Oh, that Kenny guy games coming in. Bits, you good sir. Well, thank you. Thank you for those double big bada booms. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and set that Dragon Chalice on fire for you for dropping those bits. You're like, Kismet, what are you talking about? I'm going to set it on fire. This is what I'm talking about.
Dracarys.
Boom! There we go. That Dragon Chalice is now covered with dragon fire. Thanks to that 200 bits. Thank you so much. Oh, Queen! What's up, Queen? Hey, Kez, long time no see. Well, I've been here. You know where I've been. I've been here streaming, having a good old time, doing my thing. I hope you have been well, Queen. I hope you've been very well. Oh, you can leave. Oh, look out! Getting ganked. Stuck. Where are you going? Didn't make it. Didn't make it either. There's one more out there. Darn mouse. Mouse is a little too sensitive, so when I press the button, the mouse moves. Little too sensitive. All right, well, that's what they call getting ganked. Bunch of zombies appearing out of nowhere trying to eat your face. Yeah, I just got ganked by a bunch of zombies. Now, as you can see, I use the water to my advantage because they run at nighttime. So I got in the water and then, of course, slows them down. And, of course, you can blast them. The water's a great place to go at nighttime. If you're just starting the game out, you can go swim out to the middle of the water. But watch out for, like, other animals and whatnot. That stuff can go on top of the water currently. But zombies sinks. So zombies will sink way underneath the water. And you'll be fine. All right, let's bandage up. All right, looking good. There we go. We got some food. We got some water. Darn sneaky zombies. That's what happens, too. So you get so focused on what you're doing, they pop out of nowhere and try to get you. So I've been fantastic. As you can see, I've been building up the stream. I've been overhauling a lot of stuff coming down the line. Finally, after months and months of really, really hard work, a lot of stuff is finally finishing up, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. So again, we're just stylizing. We're just having some fun with these edges. And then what we need here is we need some, we need to kind of bring this up so that we can put that other corner piece in. Again, we're using some grassy ground here, kind of like that. And again, eventually we'll fill all this in along this edge. Fill in just a little bit here. We know this is going to be filled in. Right, like so. Same thing here. We taketh away, and then we giveth back. All right, and then number 7, we're going to put right there. Again, now, what we're doing is we're using an inside corner, and then we're using a top corner to kind of go back and forth here. And now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and just skip every other one to speed this up a little bit. And then at the bottom, that nice bottom piece in. Same thing here. And then what that does is squares it off, and then we can go nice and square. If we so choose, or we can just get stylistic, like we got over here. It's up to you. It's your game. You make whatever you want. All right, and we need to get our wedges in there eventually. Let's go ahead and get a lot of this filled in, especially back here. This one here. All right, now we're going to go ahead and use our other pieces here, which is just going to be our concrete wedges and our inside, our wedge tips. Again, the reason why we're using wedges and not ramps is because we want it to be less of a very harsh. Oh, that's supposed to be this one. Less of a harsh drop off than if you use the other stuff, right? The other stuff, it's just like a really steep thing. But this, when you use a wedge, is more like an aqueduct, more like that that kind of edge. And then we know also that it's going to... Rotate it first. There we go. Ah. So I always keep some extra grassy ground in there for when it's being feisty. Now, doing this in water is one of the hardest ways of doing this. It's really hard because the water interrupts what you're doing. It causes you to mess up sometimes. It makes it tougher, and it doesn't really work like real water. It works more like a block than it does anything else. That water just gets in your way. Now, I could take all the water out, but, I mean, that's a lot of water, bro. That's a lot of water, and we're just trying to shape out this edge here tonight, and we're going to work with some water here, hopefully. We have enough time. Yeah, I think we got enough time. I think we're going to have enough time tonight to get it going on. Be streaming. We've got quite a long time left. Do a lot of fun stuff here in the stream. Glad to be back, says All You Can League. Glad to have you back in the stream, man. Welcome, welcome. I say we give out 1,000 Kiscaps in honor of all the people who said, you know what, Kismet, I'm going to come back. I'm going to check out your stream tonight. Everybody thank those people for showing up tonight because they just earned you some Kiscaps. So show them some love in the chat, everybody. I appreciate you guys coming in, checking out the stream yet again. We've been having lots of fun. I love playing 7 Days to Die. We play it every Saturday that we can, where I'm not sick or my kids don't get injured or I don't get injured or my ISP doesn't go off or whatever calamity doesn't befall me on a Saturday. I'm usually here playing 7 Days to Die. And I moved it to Saturday so we have more time, right? We have a full block to play because this is the type of thing, you know, you got to get in the rhythm, right? The rhythm of what you're building, and, you know, you want to have enough time to do all the stuff you want to do. Take out all of these frames right there. Again, this is going to be across here. I think I missed something there. There we go. And again, we're trying to key off the edge that he's already got. So there's a couple edges here. This one's definitely going to be out a bit further than this other edge by about 1, right? So we wanted to kind of look at that. Okay, this is going to be out to here. And this one's going to be kind of in that inner edge. And we need to fill in all of this. Now, we have a lot of dirt that we had excavated to make this work. A lot. Because we had cut out all of the dirt on the other side so that we could flatten it out. Which, of course, left us a lot of dirt to do this stuff over on this side. Now, of course, I wouldn't be doing this much dirt if we had not brought the edge out so far. See, we brought the edge all the way out, which is really not what we wanted to do. We wanted to use the pre-existing dirt and kind of cut backwards up into the bank, right, to try to flatten out the bank a bit instead of bringing that forward. That actually caused a lot of extra work because now I have to fill in the bank as I go as opposed to using the pre-existing bank. Now, I can go in and I can take out all of this, which I may start doing because this may take too long. It might be faster to cut out that, to push it back, than it is to let it go forward. But we're just kind of fooling around right now. We're trying to get that going on. And that's the stuff you learn while you're doing stuff, right? There are no mistakes. They're just happy accidents. As you go along, just keep going on and then shape it along however you did. And it might actually turn out better, too, when stuff happens like that. Because you might learn something new, and you're like, oh, I learned something there. Which is always good. Always a good thing. Once you get it down, this goes real fast. Especially the straight edges here. There we go. It's good to try to get this stuff down as quick as possible so that the thing doesn't get in your way here. Again, we're going to run right up into that edge there. We'll fix that edge later. And so on. Like that. Okay. And we're going to finish this off. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to start setting back the edge. We're going to set back the edge from here. Because I think this is going to take way too much extra work. I mean, I could do it if I wanted to, but nah. Let's change it up a little bit. Just so we don't have to do as much filling in work. All right, let's take this back out. Okay, now if I wanted to set it back, right, set it back along this edge, like this, of course I'm going to have to take out this concrete. And it's going to be fairly easy if you know what you're doing, right? But what we're going to do is we're actually going to work on this corner first, then we're going to set it back. So we're going to go ahead and take this one here, and we're going to go ahead and turn this corner kind of like this, right? So we turn the corner in, and then like so. Now again, if you do have a comment or question for me, my name is Kismet. You can put Kiz or Kismet in the chat. I'll highlight in red. I know you're talking directly to me. Like that. See, now I've got a corner that goes straight up this way. So I can go in and do that, or I can just leave it as a flat edge. I'm just going to leave it as a flat edge for right now. And we'll come back to it in a bit. And we'll just put these in here. Flatten out that edge. Okay. Now the edge that I want to start on is right here. Right? And see how this is poking out here? The whole point of it is it's supposed to go along that edge. Right? So I'm going to go ahead and just take this out. And I'm going to backtrack it from here upward. So I'm going to have to take out this concrete and whatnot. But let's go ahead and just put this in. Right here. I think, oh, actually, we'll go ahead and put a corner in. Inside corner. Something like that. There we go. And so the bottom of this edge is going to be right here. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just start from the bottom. There we go. We'll just make this nice and straight here. There we go. Now the opposite is going to happen. Now I've got to start taking it out. Like this. Get that out of my way. So I've got to start taking this out. Now when I take this out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be getting stone, I'm going to be getting sand, and some dirt. Now while I'm doing this, I should be making grassy ground, because it'll be running in the background, because I will eventually run out. Hey, you might as well, since you're not crafting anything else, you might as well get that going on. And again, any kind of sharp edge you leave, you can always come back. You can always see if the zombies destroy it, and if they don't, you just leave it. But if they do, then you want to come back, of course, and work on that for sure, so that they're not constantly destroying it. You don't have to constantly repair it all the time, and so on. And again, we'll go ahead and just start with this nice flat edge. That is much easier to take out than to put in, I find. But such is the way it goes. And this. Like that. Alright, looking good. So again, now we've kind of created an indent. And we're going to try to kind of back it up into this edge. Now, how can we take this out? Well, we're going to have to just go through it. I'm going to turn my sound down so it's not so loud. Catch up on chat while I'm doing this. Thank you, Twitter peeps. Oh, look at that. You guys got 1,000 Kiz caps to everybody for coming in and retweeting. Thank you so much. If you guys like to earn some more, make sure to go out there and get those retweets going on. All right, so I'm just going to cut this edge first. Because what I'm going to do eventually is I'm going to undercut this. But I want to get one edge correct, right? So let's get one edge correct. We're going to do it right here. What our new edge is, meaning, you know, the distance that we need to go. And we're going to go 7. Then we're going to go back to 4. Put that in. Need to put this one back in. Like that. 7 again. This is going to be a 4. Then take this out. And we have a 7. And then a 4. All right, there we go. So we've figured out what the actual ramp edge is going to be, and then it's going to be all the way down to right there, right? Now, I've already kind of flattened this out over here, too, so I've already kind of created this long edge here. That's good enough. We're going to probably square all this off to that edge. So we need to take this one out. All right, so now this will take a while to take all of this out, so we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to take out just the pieces that we need. Then we're going to undercut it. And that will take all the concrete out. So we're just going to cut our way across here. Let's speed this up. Let's go ahead and turn this off for a second. Let's tell it to repair this. Back to grassy ground. The more repaired your auger is, the faster it cuts. Again, where's our cross beam? Right here. We'll just run that across there so we can kind of tag where we're going to cut, right? And we can also go in and repair the one we don't want to. And it just shows you where you need to cut now. I like to stand up while I'm doing it, though you can do it while crouched as well. See, this takes a while, but does it take longer than filling in all that dirt? There we go, looking good. Again, how's everybody's weekend going? Everybody having a good weekend? I'm having a good one. Having a good one. I'm playing some 7 Days to Die, hanging out. I did hurt my toe today, though. It hurt bad. I cracked the nail on it. I hit it so hard on my pinky toe. Not good. Cracked it right down the middle. Well, luckily, horizontal and not vertical, because vertical is even worse because it goes way down into the bottom of your foot. That's really painful. All right, we got to take this one out too because it's actually connected to this block here. Got to take this corner one out. All right, we'll take this one out too, just in case. All right, now we got concrete. Now the same thing when you have buildings and whatnot, and you want to get rid of the building or whatnot. It takes a lot longer to take out all the concrete and all that stuff. The easier way is just to simply cut underneath it like this. Fill in some more gas. Now don't be under there when it comes down. And there you go. Quick and easy. Remove the debris. You don't want all this debris in your way. Nice and easy. There we go. Nice, nice. And now we've cleared it a bit. And we're going to clear a little bit more here. And if we do too much, no worries. We can always put it right back in again. Put it right back in again if we took too much out. I think that actually looks pretty good right there. Let's go ahead and fill this in. And it's going to flatten it out a little bit. Notice how it raises the ground up to it, which I think is pretty cool. Pretty cool. If it's already at that level, it will just square it off automatically. And we're looking good there. 4. Again, much easier to take away than to add, though you do have that extra step of having to go through and take out the concrete now. Which before I filled that in, I should have checked that, but that was my bad. That was my bad. Looking good. Okay. Then we'll fill in the rest of this. After a while, once you get this down, you can just literally see where the pieces go. Like I can see where the pieces go in my mind just from what we've been doing. Little mouse fail there. And there we go. So now we've got kind of a bit of an inset there. See? Kind of cool. I mean, it's your whatever floats your boat. And again, go in here. We can fill this in. Some flat edges, like that. Again, I don't like to see it. I don't like to see the dirt. There we go. It's kind of like a ramp. Get in and out of there, right? But again, you got this flat edge, so if they run up against that flat edge, they could destroy all of that. And they could also, by the way, if they're coming this way, they can run into this, destroy it, and then actually start to tunnel underneath your stuff. So watch out for that as well. Watch out for that action. And again, we can go through and we can do that, or we just straighten it out. How much more do we have to go? Well, let's go look over here. We might take a break from this here and do a bit of water, and then we'll come back to it. You guys, we did a whole bunch there. Again, I try not to burn myself out on games by just doing it way too much. Here we go, all the way down. We don't have too much more to go. Got to just get down to this edge down here. Oh, Robotsky Gaming coming in with the host. Thank you so much for that love. I see lots of people showing that love in the chat. Appreciate it big time. And again, thanks for those bits. Appreciate it. Swickster as well with the follow. I believe I shouted out earlier, but what the heck? It's my stream. I'll shout out again if I want. Oh, we got a zombie. Let the Kismet kill box kick in. Oh, it's not working. It's okay. I got this. She stopped. She stopped right when I shot. Nice. All right, so again, we've got to work this whole edge here. Now you can see we got this kind of straight edge coming all the way down, and then we created kind of like a little ladder system here. You just jump up, get up out of there if you want, along this edge. But I'd like this whole edge to also to be angled, much like this over here. But you can see we've also kind of created this kind of angled thing going on here as well. Very nice. And we can go in and we can shape all this out. and angle this all out. And again, the reason why we want it to be angled is so that when the mobs get in there, they can angle out. But we're going to actually fill this with water. So we could have left it square if we wanted to, just filled it with water, because then the mobs would sink all the way to the bottom, but they don't die, though. They don't die when they sink to the bottom, so they're just going to run into the wall and then destroy the wall. So we want it to be angled so they can walk their way out, and then we'll destroy them. Or we'll put this kind of edge in, this lip edge here, to keep us from falling in there with our vehicles, which would probably be a smart idea as well. Put one there. There we go. And again, so we've got all of that to do, but we're going to take a break on that. Let's go work on some water. Let's go work on filling in some water here at the end. Again, you want to kind of change up what you're doing on games, because if you do one thing for like 12 hours, sometimes it can burn you out on it. All right. I don't get burned out, but peeps get burned out watching me do the same thing over and over. All right, let's go ahead and actually fill this in. So we're going to do the bucket. Again, I like to change up my gameplay from time to time. All right, let's put all this stuff back in here, since we're going to deal with all that stuff later. Let's sort that baby. Let's get all this other kind of random stuff off of me here. Don't need that. And looking good. Looking good. Actually, we'll just leave our bullets in there. Okay. Now, we've got some buckets, and what we were starting to do, of course, is start to bring up the level of the water. Now, you might notice that there's water at different levels, including this kind of floating water here. We were doing some testing earlier. Now, we've got this gigantic wall of frames here, because we're going to fill this level in here, and then we're going to take those frames out and then fill another level, and so on and so forth as we go along. Now, this contraption right here that we have going is a great way to fill in your water. Now, I've got an opening here, so I can just kind of run over here, fill up my buckets with various different water, if it's going to let me. There we go. You don't want to take too much from the same spot. Kind of put it around a little bit. And then you can come over here and, of course, kind of pour it up against the wall. And as you can see, it is now kind of putting up against that wall. Like so. And we'll go ahead and just keep doing that down the way here. Now, as you can imagine, this is going to take a really, really long time, especially since it's multiple levels and so on. So we're just going to keep grabbing it from over here. And you're like, well, Kismet, that's going to be gone from over here. Well, there is a kind of a little bit of a glitch that does cause it to stay. You can get some of it, and it just will respawn or will refill in that area. But sometimes it does actually take it away from there. And sometimes it does this. So it doesn't work very consistently. Or when you're filling stuff in, right, it should fill that in. But look how it went like that, right? And we come over here and we can try to grab from over here. Grab that stuff from on high. Like that. Grab some of this if we want to. Again, you grab too much from the same spot, that starts to happen. So we can just keep on keeping on. I kind of find going a little bit ahead works well as well. Something like that, and then come back, fill that in, and again, take that out over here. Also, you can go right in the middle of the water like this. Try to grab it. Use your space bar. And notice how it's not causing any of the stuff to go away. Again, that will speed up the process because this is a really slow process, as you can see. Again, see how funky the water works? Look at that. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird how you put in one spot and then another? And it has to do with it filling in the blocks. Now, the real trick, of course, is to get a whole bunch of buckets and to go out there and fill that up. Speed this up a little bit. There we go. So our goal is to fill that in. Now, this contraption up here is currently working as a kind of thing that allows us to drop the water where we want it to drop, right? So if I take this here and I aim it toward these frames, what it's going to do is it's going to hit that frame, and then it's going to fall down right down here, as you can see. And then same thing here. I hit the frame. It's going to eventually fall down and shape out this area. Right? Same thing here. I can do a 7 and hit these frames. And it will start to fill in this area. Notice how it's like 2 levels. Right? That's because we're using the frames up above it to hit the frame and then it falls on the thing. That works fairly well when you're trying to raise the level of it up, right? Like that. There we go. So kind of pouring it up there does help a lot. And the same thing here in the corner. We'll pour that. And then that will fall down, fill in that area. Same thing here again. And on this one. Boom, fell down, filled in that area. Now, how can we get this to stop doing this kind of cascading move like this? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to use our rebar frames to actually stop it from doing that. See that? As you put the frames up above, it stops doing that kind of cascading move. And you can flatten out water that way. So it's not doing this kind of constant flowing of water. And this will take a really, really long time. So you just kind of buckle down, do what you got to do, right? Work on it little by little. And I'm trying to kind of pull it out of that top frame. There we go. And then as we kind of move this along, this stuff will flatten out as well. You see it flattened out there. And then we can also pour on this side. Which, of course, is going to fill all this in. There we go. Pick that back up again. Pour it right there. And this is a very meticulous kind of thing you have to do to make this work. Right? Very, very meticulous. You have to kind of walk it little by little. Now, of course, the smart thing to do is, of course, is just be able to pour the water in there, right? Or run a hose and just let it fill up. That would be nice. I would like them to fix the water system massively. But that's basically what it takes, is to go in and to do that. He's messing up my creative thing I was doing there. Bro, messing up my creativity. He's got to fix it. He can't handle it. He's got to fix it. He's over there fixing he's fixing my creative corner I made over there. It looks like. I don't know what he's doing. That's okay. It's this whole area is open up for people to come in and build stuff. I just ask that they don't, I don't mind if they break my stuff down. But they don't knock people's stuff down. So if somebody makes a tower or whatever it is, there we go. You need anything? Why is he not in the 7 days to die? He's in the other one. Let me get my microphone. Let me get my microphone attached here. Hey, Ro, what's up?
Not much. I had to do a bunch of repairs on the mall. It looked like a zombie mob hit it at some point.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm just over here trying out different techniques and whatnot, just explaining stuff to the stream. I was doing some artistic stuff on that one you were knocking down there. I was just fooling around.
I was just looking.
Yeah, and I realized I filled in all those frames, and I realized that those frames are actually out too far because I was going to cut back into the bank to bring it up. So now we have all that there. So we'll have to either just, fill that in with rock now so we can angle it, that wedge angle, to go all the way down to the end. Or we'll have to cut back in the bank, which is what I did on the one where I stopped. So either way, we'll have to do it. Either way, it's going to be a bunch of extra work now because I should have checked that before I filled those frames. And I could have just pulled up all the rebar frames and done it. Just the way it goes. Jonah Berg with a massive nuke.
With it somehow.
Well, it'll get done, but I'm just doing water now. Thank you, Jonah, for coming in with the auto host. Appreciate the love. Good evening, Robotsky. What's up? How you doing tonight? Hope you're doing awesome. Kismet, you gave me inspiration for the kill box that I make. Yes, there you go. The Kismet kill box is incredibly effective. My internet is finally fixed. Yay, all you can lead. Awesome. Great to hear, man. Oh, it sucks when your internet's on the fritz, isn't it? Especially when your internet goes off. You're like, what do I do with myself, right? I got no internet. Now I can't do anything. It's like your life comes to a halt all of a sudden. Anybody else feel that way in the chat? Like, oh my gosh, how am I going to survive? I don't have my internet. I usually go outside. I know, it's a crazy idea. It's a crazy idea. I go outside, I get into some trouble. I go have some fun with my kids. I bought them that big giant bowling set. It was on sale at Walmart. It's like these big giant bowling pins with the ball, and then they can go out there and bowl, which is a lot of fun. So they've been doing that today, having lots of fun bowling. The most annoying thing is that, you know, you pour it there and it doesn't fill in the block, right? So it's almost better, I think, maybe just to pour one higher than what you're trying to do, right? That's what I'm kind of getting this consensus as. That you should pour it one higher and let it fall. Right? Instead of pouring it right above it, maybe I should be pouring it up here. Let's take a look at that. Let's pour it up there. Let's see what happens. It drops directly down. Pour it up there. It drops down. Yeah, see, I'm kind of feeling that you should pour. Oh. Oh, look at that! Filled 2 of them in. That's awesome. So I'm kind of feeling like you should pour 2 blocks above and let it fall, because it seems to fall more consistently than anything else. Again, I love to experiment and find game mechanics. One of my favorite things to do. So let's go ahead and try that the rest of the way here. All right, we'll pour it up there. Yeah, that's looking way more consistent, at least better than what we had before. Yeah, nice. See, and then the rest of that falls down. Turns out pretty good. Let's take this one out. No, I wasn't. Was I aiming at that one? I was not. Look at this. Look at this ridiculous stuff. Like I'm trying to aim at that one. All right, whatever. Whatevs. See if it falls down. Take that other side with it. This game is so freaky sometimes. Freaky! There we go. Just put it there. All right, we're going to go 2 things above. Wait for it to fall down. Nice. Okay. Now, we're not working on this side yet. When we get to this side, then we'll need to have those in place. Again, right now, we're just trying to get this edge in there. This outside edge. Trying out different techniques. Well, we got that one in. Almost like 2 buckets each sometimes. There we go. Lots of buckets. Now again, notice how if you go way out in the middle up on a second level, it's not pulling out the water. So it does give you that kind of infinite water that you can use if you do it just right. Because this would be really super tedious if you had to go and get every single thing of water, especially at the water level I'm doing here. I mean, this is a lot of water. Now, again, if you sit here and do this for 50 hours, you could probably get it done pretty fast over time, but then, of course, you just did that for 50 hours. So, again, we're going to go ahead and take out the frames over here. Let's get all these frames out of here. Frames out of this way. Now, if you happen to do what I just did, where you took out the support frame, now you're going to have a bunch of metal in your way. It's actually going to take your water away in that particular section. Like that. Oh, fill back in again. Good. So again, we're going to go along the outside edge And we're going to use those frames to try to get a second level of water going. So we're going to go ahead and try to put it up nice and high. And let's start here from the left side. Up here. I'm going to start up at this level. Like this. We're gonna get it. There we go. Put those in there so it can support these outer ones. Okay. So we've got our first level here. Now we want to go ahead and start on a second level. But a second, another level this way, because we've already got the first level down here. This is the second row, third row, fourth row, etc. So we're going to go ahead and offset this by 1 and then pour it right there. And it should come down and fill in a bit more of this edge. Like so. That's not bad. Not bad. And it'll resolve itself over time. And again, same thing. Let this go along here. And take a couple of these out. Well, I need to get more buckets. I need to get a whole bunch more buckets. So I can go out here one time and fill in all the buckets and then be able to fill this in a bit faster. So I'll go back and get my buckets here in a second. I'm just kind of showing a bit of what we're trying out here. And again, we'll try right here. Pour that. Let's see how that ends up. Definitely can see it filled in. Definitely filled in there. Yeah, so I'm really liking the fact that if you pour higher, it has a tendency to fill in a bit better. Oh, wrong thingy. There we go. Then that should drop. There we go. And now we're filling in pretty good. So really, you just want to be at that highest level and then just keep filling. And it should fill it down below. Well, let's go ahead and take a break from this. Let's go ahead and get my bike and let's run back. Let's get some stuff. Thank you for the shout out. You're ready. You're welcome, Robotsky Gaming. Thanks for coming in, man. Showing the love. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody coming in tonight. I hope you're having an awesome Saturday night. I'm having lots of fun. I love playing some 7 Days to Die. Me and Ro are chilling out, building some epic stuff. He's in there working on those edges as well. And again, I let them do their thing, and they can do however creatively they want to do it, and then I'll do it my way, and we'll just kind of go back and forth. And again, if you haven't seen it yet, here's the awesome Kismet biome here. Cement biome. This is the Kismet Army Mega Compound. We've got a mall right there. We've also got a gigantic tower made by Anon. Did an amazing job on that. We've got Chen's house over here looking good, except for some zombies been blowing it up, it looks like. We've got our Kismet kill box right there for Horde Night. We've got some other kill boxes over here, which basically just sit up there and detect evil zombies and shoot them if they get too close. And then some funny pieces over there that he was using for building. We got something that somebody was starting to build here. Very cool. Whatever they want to build, they can go for it. We've got, of course, a steel mill there. We've got the restaurant here that I built. Turned out pretty good. And, of course, my spot. I've always got to have a spot. Got to have a spot to park my bike. Let's park that baby in there. Like so. Again, if you've never been in the stream before, I'll show you also our botanical garden. I think one of the highlights of our Kismet compound here. Made by the amazing Nushki and Gwen. I don't mind showing it off every now and again. Let's get up here. Look at this. Whew. That's a lot of work, isn't it? A lot of work. Turned out beautiful. Guys like that. There's actually a greenhouse that they made right here. Look at that. Cool greenhouse. Big gazebos. They even got a water fountain going over there. They did a lot of really, really good work. And they even have their own parking spots. I like that. They have their own parking spots in there as well. So I hope you guys enjoy that epic building by my crew. Whee. And be kind, of course. Close the doors. Also, you see the streets. We've got a gas station here that part of our team made. Chen made this cool bookstore. Very, very cool. Like so. But let me go ahead and see if I can find out what the heck I did with all the rest of my stuff here. Most likely in my box over here. Let's see. Nope. Not in there. Must be on my bike, or I put them somewhere where I'm not going to be able to find them as normal. As normal. When I put stuff away, then that's when I usually can't find anything. It's kind of like cleaning up your house, right? You clean up your house, you put all the stuff away where it should be, and then you're like, where the heck did I put that? I can't find it. I lost it. I don't know where it's at. That kind of thing. Let's see. Huh. I don't know what I did with them buckets. I have no idea. I should have put them over here, which would have been a smart spot for them. But I put them somewhere, and I know not where. Always make some more, I guess. Let's check the drop boxes. Oh, there's some. Sometimes I drop stuff in the drop boxes because there's nowhere else to drop them. Or I'm just in a hurry. Looking nice. Okay, we got a bunch of them now. I think we should make so many that my inventory should be full. Hold on. Let's go put a bunch of this in here. Make sure we keep our bullets, though. Like so. And let's see, how much room we got now? 8, 16, maybe 16 more. All right, we're going to really speed this up a bit by getting a lot more buckets. Oh, and we are running down on time. We're going to make ourselves a bunch more buckets. Now, if you've got iron and steel and whatnot, you can go in and make a bucket right here. Now, I used this forged iron. Just happen to be making a massive amount of forged iron right now. So I can try to queue it up, but this bucket doesn't necessarily work in this particular forge. I forget which one it works in now. I know it's one of these things. I know it's in one of these things. Oh, it doesn't work in any of those. You got to do it in your inventory. That's right. There we go. Let's see. And so we'll make 20 more. What the heck? Let's go crazy, everybody. Let's make some more. Now, of course, my dirt's in the way, so I'm going to go turn the dirt off. Go back to grassy ground, so it'll do that after it's done doing the buckets. And it's going to go ahead and make some buckets. Oh, I could probably put... Let me put this back in there. So I don't need that on me anymore. One of the cool things about this game is that when it starts to craft... When it starts to craft, it will take the materials out of your inventory and then put it toward the crafting. So you actually don't have it in your inventory anymore, which is really cool. Because then you can because then you know exactly how much you need, and then you can put the original resources back where you got them from as well. All right, and again, we'll drive out here. Sucker's huge, right? Huge! It's huge. There we go. Morning, Dark Angel. What's up? Hey, Dark Angel, do you have your game wisp? I fixed the game wisp, I think. Test it out if you can. Test it out and see if your game wisp shows up on the stream. That would be awesome. I've been working on it a lot. Been actually bugging them for months and months and months to help me fix it, but they don't get back to me. They don't email me back. Terrible customer service in that way. I mean, I like their service. It's just, you know, somebody doesn't get back to me in like a month. You know, that's not good. That's not good. Okay, we'll just kind of keep grabbing randomly. All right, that's probably good. Good for now. All right, we'll wait for those other buckets to be made. Now, here's a way to go faster on the water is to hold down the space bar. So you're kind of like hopping out of the water. Makes it go way faster. All right, again, we'll work this whole kind of left corner here, and then we'll work our way across. See if we can get this done. Okay, so we got kind of the first row. Looks like right here. Let's go ahead and hit that one. So we can fill in that little divot there. There we go. Nice. And then same thing here. I wonder if we can just use what we currently exist. Press that and see if it pushes out. It goes up one, but it doesn't push out. All right. We're just going to keep going along with that edge. Go over here. Swap these out. Put those in. Look at that weirdness, right? Actually took the frame out. Broke the frame. Broke the frame. There we go. And again, we'll just kind of see if we can do a little bit of shortcutting in that way. See, it's filling up. But at some point, it's going to be where we're going to need to fix all of this. So we can be very meticulous with it, where we can just kind of walk it across. Or we can drop it in there and see if we can get it to fill in. Now notice it's not filling in along this outer edge. So we'll have to fix that as well. I think we got some more. Yep. 3 more. And then we can just go in here and just try to tell it to fill in that inner edge. And I'm just aiming it at the frame, so it'll try to fill in that outer edge. Now what we can also do is take this back, like this, and then try to go in. Not easy to do. Try to fill in that edge. And so as you can see, this gets real awkward really quick, because it's filling in not what I want it to fill in. It's also doesn't grab what you want to grab, right? You want to grab that up above, but now look, I got this hole right there. Very difficult to get it to do what you want it to do, but the frames is the way to do it. The frames is, and also using kind of like a wall edge here. See how we have the kind of empty edge right there. Using the frames to flatten it out and then fill it in like that. It has a tendency to break your frames too, which is kind of a bummer. There we go. We'll get these top ones. All right. Again, somehow we lost our edge down here again. I thought we already did this, but we'll do it again. Keep going. Head out here. Again, there's a lot of rinse and repeat. Literally. I take our nail gun out too. Let's take our bullets out. Speed this up a little bit. Alright, quickly. Now we're getting it going. Lots of water. You've already sent your alert? All right. Well, if anybody has their alert, let me know. I'd love to test it. I have tested it before. I do know that it pops up now. But I had to do some workarounds to make it work, because they're not playing nice over there. Not playing nice with my peeps. Okay, and again, look at this kind of gap right there. So let's just pour it right up here. See if it fills in that gap. Looks like it does. thing down here. There's like a little bit of a gap. All right. And again, we'll try to fill that out. And, oh, I put my frames away. I foolishly put my frames away because now I realize I need my frames. I got to extend that out with the frames. Again, what we're doing is we're trying to put the water in and raise the water up. Now, it's easy in a small space if you're creating like a pool or something like that. But in a massive space like this, it is a lot harder to get it to do exactly what you want it to do. Now, I know it will work if I just keep layering and layering and layering until I get up to a certain level. And then I will flatten it out. And then all of the water will be nice and flat. But it does take a lot of time, as you can see, to make that work. And it does this real weird stuff. Every time you're pouring it in, it's not pouring it where you would expect it to pour, right? If I pour it way at the top there, 2 levels up from where I want it to be, it has a tendency to work better. If I do it 1 level above, like on this thing here, it actually a bit weirder, right? Acts a bit funnier. It's a little bit funny. All right. There we go. Nice. Now, of course, it works better against solid objects, right? So if you go and you pour it, say, against this concrete, say it fills in a bit easier and better, especially at an angle like this, than it does if you try to pour it. You can't pour it on other water. It doesn't let you. You got to have something to pour it up against, like concrete or like a frame or something like that. And so we'll just keep kind of walking this out here. There we go. So eventually, this is the level in which we want the water. Right here. Now, why do we want it like that? Because I want it to cascade over the side here and create a kind of a waterfall effect right over here. So eventually, right, this will be gone. And then we'll bring it up to a level where it can go over the side. Now, how are we going to make the going over the side work? Well, that's going to be fairly simple. You have to kind of walk it across. Right, so we'll go ahead and just keep pouring it there. But then notice how it's going over the side. And we'll just keep pouring it until it kind of fills in. Now these are going to fall down. Take that out. And again, we want to keep pouring it, but a level above what we've got, right? Hopefully this didn't make too much of a thing. No, they didn't. Okay. So we want it to be up 1 more level for it to work. So we're going to go over here. And we're going to put it up here at this level. Oh, a little too much. Not bad. A little too much. All right, and then get our bucket. We get our butt out of there. We'll pour it right there. And there it goes. Now it's going to start to fill in, and again, we got to bring that up so it can go off of there. There's one, there's more. Aha, look at the cool kind of styling of the corners over there. Very nice. Rose over there having some fun. He's over there having some fun. All right. No more? Oh, sun's going down. Getting spooky, spooky. There we go. You might be like, Kismet, where the heck do you get all these resources? Well, a ton of my team work together to get all these resources. Game Wisp. You get 1 chance a month, and that's it. Well, that's the same thing with Twitch. Twitch, same thing. You get 1 chance a month to press it. But know that it will work this time, which is awesome. Awesome. Dee 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 dee. All right, there we go. Notice what I did is I poured it into the frame, and then I took the frame away, and then it dropped down. So now it's at that level where it's kind of cascading. Actually, it's got to go 1 more level up. It's now cascading. Looks like it's cascading off the side, especially when we look at it from this side. We want to see it like it's trying to come off that edge. Again, using your frames is how you make this stuff work. It is fairly difficult to get it to do what you want it to do. It's probably the hardest thing in the game to make it do what you want to do. Grab some water out here. So now we'll run back and we'll go ahead and just pour some right there. Keep pouring it until it seems like it's going to down out of there. There we go. There we go. And again, is in the frame. I took the frames out, and then it dropped back down again. And then I put some in front of it. So eventually it will try to connect like this. And you can actually swim up it too, which is kind of cool. But as you can see now, it is cascading off. And again, we would have to fill all this in along there, fill all this side in. This side will be solid, it'll be flat. And this will come up and actually go over the side. So that's why I like to test that stuff before I get too far. And I say, okay, actually it's got to be up 1 more level on top of this. So we actually got to bring it up to this level. Let's go ahead and get that in. There we go. And of course it's going to act weird, as it does. Let's go get a whole bunch of buckets. And I'm getting hungry now. Getting hungry. Plenty of buckets now. Notice I'm not just taking from the same spot. I'm actually swimming around. Up a couple levels. Trying to avoid messing up this water while I'm getting the water for this other stuff. Lots of buckets of water. We don't have to run back as many times here. Kind of becomes tedious running back and forth. I find the time that you burn the most is the back and forth run time when you're doing this kind of stuff. Could have done this closer to the shore. But again, all of this has got to come way up. And that is a major undertaking. So when you're doing stuff of this size, you want to do it in small little chunks. As you go along, otherwise, again, you face that burnout. Watch out for that burnout. There we go. my stomach is growling like crazy now. Just that, feed me, Seymour. There we go. See, that should fill in, but it doesn't. Actually filled in the block below it. I just keep pouring it in there until it fills in. There we go. It's like you have to pour it in there like 4 or 5 times in the same spot to get it to fill in sometimes. Now if it comes up with a block like that, then you know you can put it there, which is cool. Sometimes hard to get the angle. Come on, I know you go there. Nope. Doesn't want to give it to me. All right, now here's a little way we can try to fix that as well. Is we can go ahead pull that out a little bit. Take that back out. See, why does it do that? Why? That makes no sense. Fill it in properly. So they do need to work a lot on the water, I think. Because the water is very inconsistent. But there we go. There we go. You guys get the idea. So that's how high it's going to be. Way up there. We're going to have to bring that all the way across as we go. Now we could do it, you know, this way. Or we could do it this way. This way may be easier. But we've got to get up above the water. We got to be up one level above where we want to be. All right, so it's got to be like this. Now, one of the problems with using frames, though, is eventually if you go too far, the frames will fall. Alright, there we go. Again, we're going to try to flatten this out. You want to go a certain distance from one edge, a certain distance from the other edge, and then try to meet in the middle. Take that out. All right, same thing. Now, if we do this wrong, that whole entire thing is going to come down. We got to watch out for that. Go this way a bit. Go around the other side here. Jump up on this ledge. All right, there we go. And then we'll go ahead and just pour. We'll see if that fills in. There we go. Nice, nice. And swap some buckets. Again, this is a long, meticulous process. But you can use your frames quite well. Pour them in there. And then it will drop down. This one here. Looking good. How's it looking? Looking good. That part right there is still not filled in. Let's see if we can get that to work. Just filling in right there. Now what we're trying to do is we're trying to find a bit of an easier way here to fill in. Actually, we'll probably take this row out now. To fill this in using frames. We have a bit of a section here that just disappeared as we go. Now, normally when you put frames above water, it does cause it to go away. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the water to pour down and then settle down in those areas that are not working, like that. Very nice. We'll take these up. Take a look at what's going on. Again, we still got a bit of a gap right there. Just pour that in there. There we go. Oh, and then now we lost it up here. And then we lost it there. And then it got screwed up there. A lot of trial and error, a lot of working with it, screwing around with it. Can be quite frustrating. Especially when you're pouring the water in the same spot over and over again like that. But if it was real water, of course, it would just fill. It would go to the lowest common denominator of water, right? It would just kind of keep filling up the area. Now, I would like it to be more like a hose that you put down. That would be much better. That's not what I want to do. See, I'm accidentally putting it a little bit too high, which is not what I want to do. I want it to be down here. Let's see, it's just not giving me a choice. Not giving me a choice. It's up way too high there, but I can manually take that out. Simply putting frames over it. Controlling that water edge. And then we'll take it all back out. And like a magic, we took all that edge out. There we go. Okay. So that does work, kind of going a bit higher than what you're doing. Of course, you have this problem of the edge of it. It might be just easier just to do, you know, layer by layer. Trying to find a shortcut. Doesn't seem to be a shortcut to make that easier. I was trying to pour it up higher so that it could get that going on. That would be nice. That would be nice. Yeah, see, it's starting to stack. Starting to stack fairly well. Making some progress. Some of it might be a little high up for what I'm looking for, but still good. Yeah, see how I took it out? I take it out and it actually makes it look better. That's interesting. See, this is more flat there now, and this is kind of sticking up. That kind of oddity stuff like that fascinates me. Look at that. Take that out. Yeah, it's almost like it's stacked one block too high. Stacked one block too high there. Yep. Except for we still have that problem there. That problem up above there. There we go. Now we're making some progress. Okay, we've got a nice flat edge there. Looking good, looking good. Go ahead and just pour some right here. Pour some more right there. Pour some up above and see if it falls down in. It does, but look at what it does there. See, it creates that empty spot there. Now, some of this stuff is now too high. Let's take some of that out. Put it in, take it out, put it in, take it out. That's what we're doing. Again, we're working with more advanced techniques on water. Again, if it's up too high, you definitely want to take it out, because then it will attempt to fix this kind of weirdness that you have going there. There we go. It's because there's a block above it, and it's causing it to look like it's clear, but it's not. It's just kind of being blocked or blocked out by that thing. And again, we go ahead and try to run this right above this line. Come on. Watch as the water calms down. See, isn't that cool? It actually flattens the water like it does with dirt. It'll flatten the water or cause the water to become still underneath that particular level. And let's go ahead and just pour some more right here. And it will drop out of there. Take the one out in the middle so I can get in and out of there. All right. And the trick to it is not always to believe your eyes, not always to believe what it is showing you, because it's not always right. Right? You can come back and use some frames on it to try to fix it up a bit. We're just trying to get this top part to work right here. So we need one right here. That is working awesome. Awesome. All right, let's take this back out. Oop. And again, we have this kind of weirdness here. Still weird. Still weird. You don't want to do that because it's a metal hits that. Good, but we're getting further out. There we go. Now we're on third row. Again, sometimes just ignore that when that happens, because when you fix the next row, it's going to fix that row. And we can keep doing that. How are we looking on time? Oh, we're running out of time. Running out of time. I say we call it on that for right now. We'll come back to that next time. I showed you some advanced mechanics on building some cement walls and corners and whatnot. Now you can see here we did a little test earlier here with our cascading waterfall. Working great there. And we have it stepping too, so it's kind of comes down, it steps again, and so on and so forth. Let me get up on my little thing here so you guys can see that. You see it's coming off the edge, and then eventually it comes down again into the regular water, which is really cool because that's what you'd want in like in a dam or an aqueduct. The water is coming over the edge nicely like that. We'll fix all that later on as well. Let's go over here and get back up here. Okay. Now, what I want to do right now is I want to go ahead and scout out the rest of this here. Let's go scout out the rest of what we need to kind of break down. Maybe we'll work a little bit on the far side. So again, you want to kind of mix it up. I mean, you can sit here and just grind this out, but I like to mix it up and try different stuff. So let's go ahead and head this way. Let's shoot a zombie in the face. Where's your friends? What's up, party people? Crotch shot. Anybody else? Anybody else want to get shot in the face? Nobody? Alright, I'm gone. Alright, now as you can see, we built a massive cement pad here. We actually cut into the wall. Look how tall that is there. We cut into the wall till about right here. And then, of course, on this side here, this is fairly at the same level. So this is pretty easy. This is putting in a lot of frames here. And then way over here on the side, we had cut a kind of a trench all the way across, as you can see. We still need to kind of fill that in. There's a box there. But as we go up here, here's the actual road that comes from the city. And we just need to kind of build it out all the way to here. Then there's also kind of a house here, or like a drawbridge-like location, which is super cool. Got like a double drawbridge. Very, very cool. Someone's got their house in here. It's like they moved in this spot, making themselves a jacuzzi. Problem is people are spawning in their house. Yep, somebody got their bag in here. They got a whole bunch of crafting area. I don't know if they're actually using this. Hey, Ro, do you know who's using this as a house way over here on the by the road?
Not sure.
Some underground parking here.
It might be Fig.
All right, awesome. So they converted this pre-existing building, or maybe they built this building. I think it was pre-existing. They converted this pre-existing building into their kind of workshop. You can see they've got all sorts of cool stuff going on down here. Like they did a lot of good work on it. Oh, but we got a lot of... A lot of bad guys. And of course, when you're crouched trying to snipe them like that, that's when they show up and shoot you in the back. You can see we've got going down to bedrock here. Looks like we got a little secret area here. Really? That's bedrock with a hole. How is that possible? Interesting. How do you get in there? How do we get in there, everybody? See, it's a mystery now. It's a mystery. We have to find our way in there. Let's go run around this side. I bet you there's a tunnel or some way down there somewhere. Aha! Uh-oh. Oh! Found the kennels. Whew, scared the heck out of me. Thank you so much for nuking the stream. Thank you so much, Cassie, coming in with the host, as well as Elder Tiger coming in. Wow, Elder Tiger, great to see you, man. Thanks for coming in, throwing that host. That was a perfect time to scare the heck out of me. Both the host and the thing. So we got like little pet kennels down here. Looks like. Of course, they weren't contained in their pet kennels. And of course, this is where we tried to come through right here, but it was a whole thing made out of bedrock. Look at this. Goes down even further into the mines. Yeah, I think this is Tig in here making his mines and stuff. He dug all these mines out, and it goes to his little house over here. I don't want to tear his house down if he's using it as a house. But yeah, very cool. Very, very cool. You can see there's a couple things in here. I don't know who's using this house. But again, I don't want to tear their house down. Look at these spikes up here. Got it primed and ready to go for Horde Night. As you can see, they can run around underneath here. and repair the spikes. I've been here fairly recently because look at that, that cement was still drying. Be bad if you were stuck down with a whole bunch of bad guys because there's no way to get out of here. Running all the way back to here. There we go. All right, now we got to find a way back up again. Out of here, and I believe it was over this way because this is where we came in. We went back this way. And that's to the outer edge. And let's go here. There we go. Ooh. The doorway here. Interrogation room, apparently. Back up we go. Kind of entryway. Now, I'm a big fan of going in and converting pre-existing buildings, but the problem is that problem happens where mobs spawn in your actual building itself, which really, really sucks. Big time. Got himself like a big boat or something up there. What is that up there? What is it? Oh, we got to go up and out again. Hold on. We got to go up and out. Can't go out that way. I guess I could crouch and gun under, but that would have taken damage. Let's go check out what this thing is up here. It's like a jacuzzi. Nice. A little jacuzzi so you can sit here and enjoy the wasteland. Nice, nice, nice. All right, but we're going to fill in the rest of this here, and we'll leave this here since they took the time to build all of that. A lot of fun. I got a whole bunch of plants and whatnot going up here on the top. Hey, Chadlock in the chat. What's up? How you doing, man? It has been a while, right? It has been a while. Thanks for coming in the stream. Again, someone's got a nice little farm going up here as well. They kind of confiscated this area, which is nice. They did an awesome job. Again, we'll be kind and put their stuff back up so it doesn't end up where their stuff gets destroyed. Like so. And again, we're just kind of scouting around on the edge here. Now, right here is the edge of the wasteland, so we've got to watch out for that as well. But let's kind of head back this way and see where the edge of our stuff is. Now, what we want to do is we want to go over here, and it actually cuts into the wasteland itself, and we want to square off this side. We know where that side ends, but we want to square off this side. And we got about 10 minutes, so let's go ahead and have some fun with the auger. Now, one of the problems is I don't know where the end of this is, right? I mean, I could start cutting into this like so, but I don't know where it ends. I don't know how many paces in that direction that it ends. So, it's probably best to figure that out from the other side. So, we'll go ahead and head back, and we'll buzz it up here like this. Now, there are landmines over here, so I could blow up. So I'm going to actually get off my bike. And let's see if I blow myself up with some landmines today. I'm pretty great at finding them. All right, we're going to go ahead and remove this lip here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just do it the easy way, right? Just come up on top, find where that edge is, and just backtrack across this edge. Now, there could be zombies behind me, so I could actually turn around and do it this way. But I want to try to keep it nice and straight, because you can see there I kind of messed it up a little bit. But I want to try to keep it nice and straight. So let's go ahead and just crouch in here. Try to keep it as straight as possible. I'm more toward the top level here. And I can angle it so I can climb myself out like this, so I can kind of see where the road is. All right, still a bit to go on the road. And I try to stay up at this top angle, right? And you want to make sure that you're at the same angle here. And let's kind of double check here, and I'm dropping loot that well. Now this is when you get messed up. This is when you're not at the same angle as what you're cutting there. Come up a little bit more. Try to keep going in the same direction. Just keep kind of bumping up as we go. Now this auger cuts really fast, obviously. Oh, what's the deal? Oh, out of gas. Of course. But as you can see, we're trying to cut to the road. We're trying to find this edge. Then we can cut it down. And then we can just take this whole entire section out. All right, why am I walking slow? Crouching? Must be crouching. There we go. All right, crouching. And we'll head back to the bike. Over here. I don't think I have any more gas in here, so I might have to run back to the gas station. I got a little bit of gas. All right, let's go ahead and put these buckets away. We'll mess with those next time. Again, I like to mix up my gameplay, right? I'll do one thing, then another thing, and another thing to try to balance it out. And if you get like burnout on really hard stuff like that, do the easy stuff. Like this is easy. This is just clearing and cutting into the mountain and all of that. This is the easier way to go. Again, we're trying to cut nice and straight. Trying to keep that same line. If we screw up, no big deal. We can always come back and refill it. Trying to cut it nice and straight. Now I'm going to start cutting down. When it doesn't remove the thing I'm trying to cut. And cutting straight is very, very difficult because this auger wants to screw you up constantly. Constantly wants to screw you up. All right, and here we are at the road. Hopefully we cut nice and straight. We'll go find out. Let's see how straight we cut. Looking pretty straight to me. Looks pretty straight. Now what we did that for, now you can also line it up by coordinates. You could do frames, which would help you line it up. Frames is really great for lining stuff up like that. But I just have a sense of how to do that angle. So that looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Now, instead of coming from this side, I actually want to go from the other side and kind of cut down a bit. And we'll start to cut it out. Oh! Like I said, I'm great at finding landmines. I found one. Blew up, made me jump. Alright, so we'll cut from this side. And we're going to cut down a little bit more. And now what we're going to do is just kind of build a tunnel. Tunnels are really easy way of doing this. Let's see how I aim a little bit higher. Now you want to watch out you're not doing this too deep in sand. You're not cutting too high up. Now when you get to rock, you can get away with it with rock, but sand you got to watch out. Now if I do this right, which we'll find out here in a second, I should end up coming out on the other side if I have enough gas. If I have enough gas to make it. But great to see you. Everyone doing well? Yeah, I'm doing awesome. Doing awesome, having lots of fun, playing some 7 Days to Die, as you can see. Really, really fun game. We're building out our mega base here. I'm just kind of squaring out this edge. Of course, stone does take longer. Keep that in mind when you're cutting. Of course, I have an auger that's making this look easy. Auger is really, really awesome for cutting. Obviously, through stone and whatnot. And I have an HD auger because we're playing War of the Walkers mod here, which allows me to actually cut even faster than the normal auger. And we can look behind us, see how our tunnel's doing, looking nice. Keep it going. you're probably thinking to yourself, Kismet, you're going to go too far, bro. You're going to go too far and you're going to tunnel under your other side. Well, if I do, I can find out nice and easy by simply going to the map. But I know that this side actually is a lot lower than the other side. So I know that I'm going to come out probably above it, but if I don't, I can also check the map just to make sure. But in theory, if I'm doing this correctly, I should actually end up above this other side, because it's fairly deep down. Like so, see? Because that side is much higher up than this side is. So now I've got to, not only do I got to do this, but now I know that the other side is much higher. You see, I'm kind of making myself a ramp down. I know the other side is way higher than this. Now, I could use some dynamite to blow that out of there and all sorts of fun stuff. But eventually, of course, I want this to be frames, and I want to take all of this out. So what you want to do is you want to undercut a lot of this so you don't have to do every single block. But now we know at what level we want to cut. And we want to cut it along what we've already cut. Like so. It's gonna get more difficult. It's gonna get more difficult to do that the further we go, because this is gonna get higher and higher above us. We can cut as much as we can for now. And we can also just look at the map, by the way. We could also just go as far as we can with the map. Do it that way. And if you screw up like that, you can go in, grab your grassy ground. Put that right back in there. Whoa. Hello. There's like a gigantic hole there, like somebody already dug a hole. Somebody already dug a hole there. Gotta watch out for that. Somebody was digging a hole. Digging a trench there, or digging a hole down to get resources. Probably from that house up above. That's probably that hole. I gotta watch out again. I don't end up falling to my doom, but totally possible. I might have just been up real high there. Might have just been up really, really high. Kind of going up that ramp. There we go. Oh, that's it. Out of gas. Again, it's really fun to put dynamite in there and blow it up as well. But again, we need to cut this edge off. We need to then start cutting all this off and cut this whole entire edge off here. Eventually. Let's go back to our bike here. And we'll stop by the gas station. How are we looking at time? Ah, we're out of time too. All right, we're going to go back and we're going to park it for now. We're going to probably come back and work on this part next time. And then work some more on our aqueduct. Whee! All right, let's go this way. Okay. Crazy driver, Kismet. Oop. Nailed it. Nailed it. All right. Now, I don't like to log out unless I am... unless I'm by the kill box. So sometimes I log in and it's actually Horde Night. So if it is Horde Night, I like to be way over here. And as you can see, this is our kind of main defense, which actually needs to get moved eventually. But this is kind of our main defense base that we use on Horde Night. So we're going to park it right there. I hope you guys enjoyed that, everybody. That is going to be it for tonight. I know some of you just joined. I appreciate you guys coming in. But I'll be back tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then I will be off for all of Monday. And then my new schedule will kick in on Tuesday. Now, my schedule will be very fluid. So I'm still deciding whether it's going to be 10 to 4 a.m. or 12 midnight to 6 a.m. Or sometimes it might vary depending on what I have going on. But it's going to be summer hours, so you're also going to do a bunch of bonus streams. My day streams will no longer be actually set. They will be they'll be just bonus streams. You'll see them pop up from time to time. So be watching my channel. If you haven't hit the follow button yet, now's a great time to hit that follow button to get notified next time I go live. So we're going to go show somebody some love. Let's see, who do we got? Who do we got ready to line up and show some love to? Let's go look. Let's go look. Boom. Lots of peeps. Boom. I always click them all, by the way. My mods go out and find me some awesome peeps to go show some love to. Right now, we've got some good peeps lined up here. Let me go ahead and jump back to my overseer's office. Boop. There we go. Let's see what we got. Let's see. I like that title. Liking the title. Uh-oh. Well, let me click on that one. I think my browser just bit the dust. Come on, Chrome, what are you doing? Slowing me down, brah. That was off calculating something. Here we go. All right, it looks like that person's going offline, I think. Yep, going offline. Boop, sorry, bro, I'm not going to raid you. What do we got here? Somebody having some fun. All right. Forgot that person before. Oh, decisions. Who needs to love the most? What is going on with my browser? Refresh. Let's see. I really like, I like her title. I don't know. That's a tempting one. This guy doesn't have a good title. Sorry, bro. You're out of there. I got to find some way to eliminate him. But this person's playing 7 Days to Die. And, I don't know, man. Oh, so hard to decide this stuff. We'll have to get those other people again. We're going to get somebody who's doing 7 Days to Die right now. We're going to go ahead and show them some love. Right now, looks like building themselves something, a little cabin area. Smacking some zombies in the face. That sounds like a good one. Let's go. Let's get this ready. Woohoo, says Jessica. Yeah, let's get that Kismet raid going. Let's get the raid in there. Bam! All right, it's going to start up right there in the chat. For some reason, not showing me at the top of my chat anymore. Let me go ahead and grab that love. We're going to go ahead and throw that love in her channel. Her name is Girly702. Right now, playing some 7 Days to Die. She has about 2,000 followers. 2,077. To be exact. It's about 13 people on the channel, which is pretty great. So we're going to go in there. We're going to blow it up. Make sure to grab this here in the chat. You can grab that first one. You can just type Kismet, Love Train. Oh, I'm too late. Well, no, Heinz. Hi, Heinz. You're here just in time. You're just in time to show some love. Now, again, I will be back tomorrow night, Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody. Hey everybody, Kismet here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button right in the center of the screen. Also check me out live on twitch.tv/Kismet. I'll see you all next time.